Hey y'all, welcome to another live. Guys, I'm gonna actually start going live on YouTube. I had to order a webcam because I didn't bring mine with me to France. And I want to go live on YouTube to do more of these like Q&As with y'all on all my various platforms. So my webcam will be coming soon. And yeah, but what inspired this live today, because I wanted to do one on my YouTube going over this more, because I get a lot of questions on like how am I living in Europe full-time basically right now, like how have I been able to travel through Europe, like how do I have an income and whatever, like still work over here. And my business supports me. It has supported me for 4.5 years, almost 5 years, which is literally crazy to me. And I've told the story before, but I don't think I've ever told it on a live. So yeah, that question like prompted me from a few of y'all to want to share more about my story and like how I started this business, teaching astrology and human design. And I think I just posted a video on this on my TikTok that I took from my Insta stories, because I've been getting a lot of questions over there on Instagram about it. But yeah, so I started, hey Trick Light, yeah, so I guess we have to go back to like 2017, because in 2017, I, at that point, was working for Whole Foods full time, and I was so over it. I dropped out of college when I was like halfway through because I didn't have money to keep going to college, and I was like, why am I doing this anyway? Like, I don't even know what I want to do. If I got a degree, like, I don't know what I would do with it. So why am I even doing this? And two, I don't have money to like pay $30,000 in tuition every year. So I just dropped out and I worked like customer service, and Whole Foods was a place that at the time, I don't know if it's still like this because of Amazon or whatever, but at the time it was a really great place to get like good pay and benefits. And so that was my dream, was to work at Whole Foods. So I ended up working at Whole Foods for like 4 years. But after like 3 years of it, I was so sick of it. I like moved up and I was in leadership. I was in management, and like my pay was really good. But I was so sick of it. I hated it. I hated working customer service. And so I was like, you know what? I really am passionate about food and nutrition and like being healthy, like the well-being lifestyle, healthy eating, working out and stuff like that. So I was like, maybe I'll go to nutrition school and like become a nutritionist. And the school that I was going to go to, because I knew a girl that was going, that I worked with, I was like, oh, I'm going to go to that school. Like, it's a holistic nutrition school. Like, I'll go there. It literally closed. I was going to enroll and it closed down. So I was like, well, fuck, what am I going to do now? And I get this DM from a girl on Instagram that's like, hey, I think you would be great, like, as a, like, fitness coach. And I was like, what? Okay, let's give it a shot. And so I did network marketing for like 3 years, and that was my first business. It never really went anywhere. I never really had like true success with it. This was like 2017, end of 2017. So technically I've been like an entrepreneur since then. It was like the 1st of November. So it's been 7 years, which is literally crazy to me. But my first business completely like flopped, failed. It never made me hardly any money. But I did learn like how to consistently show up on social media, and I learned how to market myself. I basically learned all the skills to build the business that I have now, teaching astrology and human design. And that business failing is why I created success in this business, teaching astrology and human design. I hit 6 figures last year for the first time in 2023. That was my goal. Like, that was why I was going to college, was to make 6 figures, and hit that in 2023, hit it this year back in August. So like, this has been my full-time thing, since 2020, since I started it basically in 2020. And that's how I'm able to sustain myself, like traveling through Europe. More about the details of how it started. I was originally doing tarot readings. So that, like I said, my first business was like failing and I was no longer passionate about it. So I was like, well, I had these other like side hustles and side jobs, these little just like under the table kind of things that I was doing for money. And then all of a sudden, like, I got my first tarot deck because I had been learning it from watching YouTube videos and just tarot readings on YouTube. Because I thought I was like with my twin flame. So I was watching all these YouTube videos about my twin flame. And so I got my first tarot deck, wanted to do readings so bad that I like just started pulling cards for friends and would do just like readings, like recorded myself doing readings for them. And I sent them to them and they were like, how did you know all this? Like, this is exactly what I needed to hear. And I was like, I don't know. I just read the tarot cards. Like, I really don't know. And so they referred me to their friends to do tarot readings for their friends. And their friends were like, how much do you charge? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I could make money from this? Like, what? And I was charging like nothing at the time. It's kind of crazy like what I was charging back then, but it was so new to me that I could do that. And just to get my foot in the door, it really helped. Then people also knew I was an astrology nerd, so they would also ask me to read their astrology charts as well. Like, they were like, oh, can you pull my cards and also look at my astrology chart? And I was like, sure, I don't know if I can do that either, but I'll give it a shot. And same thing, like, got great feedback every single time I did. So I was like, oh, I guess there's something here. And this was like this summer of 2020. I was living out of a car. Like, I wasn't really like doing well. I was just doing what I could to get by and finding a way to do it with things that I loved, and had such kismet experiences of like money finding me in the most craziest ways. I think around this time too, I learned about my North Node, and that my North Node is in the second house, which confirmed to me that like, yeah, I'm not meant to work for other people. Like, I'm meant to create my own financial success and my own like form of abundance. Like, I'm meant to create that for myself. I'm meant to be financially stable on my own, like independently. So that confirmed for me that like I wasn't meant to go back and ever work for anybody else again. And so I just kept doing it. Like, no matter how many times it looked like I wasn't going to like have a client or I wasn't going to like make money doing this, I just kept doing it. I kept sharing it with people, and it just literally, what is that? It was a snowball effect. I think, let's see, the end of 2020, yeah, I was still doing readings. I was still doing tarot at this time. I think I only maybe did tarot in my readings for like a year. It was like combined tarot and astrology. And then I learned more about human design in 2021 and started incorporating that as well. Then I like created my ebooks on astrology and human design, which like they're still the same ebooks that I sell today. Like, I have edited them and added a lot more to them and like tweaked them, but they're basically the same thing that I launched back then in 2021 when I was like new to human design, because I wanted a resource to have as I was learning human design, because it was so hard to come across like information that actually made sense about human design. So that's why I created the ebooks. It's like for myself, but also I was like, you know what, I want to, like, people need this, I feel like, because human design is so intimidating. So that's why I created the ebooks, and they're the same ebooks that I sell today. And they didn't really do well at first. Like, I would sell maybe like 1 or 2 a month back then when it was new, but I just like, I knew it was going to be something that people needed. And so it's one of my like main income sources today. But yeah, back then it didn't look like it would be, you know what I mean? So it's like, I really just kept believing in what I wanted for myself. Like, I knew there was not going to be any other way. Like, I was never going to work for anybody else again. Like, I was going to make this happen. I was going to make this work. I was going to make a career for myself no matter what. And in the meantime, I did readings. Like, I would go live on Instagram, or Clubhouse was an app I was really active on back then, which it's not really a thing anymore, but I would go live and do readings. Like, I would do paid readings, like $20 or $30, and just offer those, and like a few times a week. And then I was like teaching a friend of mine to do the same thing with her Akashic Records readings and her Reiki. And she was also making like, how much? She was making like $2,000 a month from that. So it's like, it's so easy to, when you just show up, to start making money from sharing your gifts on the internet. Like it's so it's easy when you get out of your own way and when you really believe in what you're doing and when you want it to work. I also had no backup plan. So like I was saying, I literally lived out of car in some parts of those couple years, because I was so stubbornly like, no, I'm not going to go work for somebody else. Like I would rather live out of a car and find a way to make this business work than like forsake my freedom to have money for rent because I work at a coffee shop or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had no backup plan and I was going to make it work no matter what. I like really got off on a tangent there. Mercury is so retrograde, but yeah, I would say it wasn't until like 2022. Well, the beginning of 2022 is when I made my courses. So I made the Become an Astrologer course and the Learn Human Design course. They were called something different back then, but they're still the same course. And that was when I really started to see like consistently success and consistent money coming in from what I was doing. And that was when things really started to feel more like streamlined and like, okay. I also had a couple videos go viral on TikTok, which like hadn't happened before. So all of it just kind of added up to be what it is today. And that's when it really started, was like 2022. When I started to feel like, oh damn, I'm really like doing this. Like I'm really seeing consistent money come in from this. Thank you, Senny. I hope I'm saying your name right. Second house in Aqua, nervous for how Pluto and will affect your money. Well, if you've been listening to the story I'm telling, it's just gonna do that to you. It's gonna help you transform how you're making money. Sabrina says, I love human design. Me too. Oh, Tricklight has North Node and Taurus in the 5th house. That's amazing. So you have to step more into sharing your creativity. Thank you, Cindy. Oh, you said, okay, I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, cool. Yeah, like literally nothing in your astrology is bad. And I'm 30. Girl, you don't need a human design. You don't need to take a course or like you don't need a certification. You don't need a certification. I am so anti-certifications. Like that's why I don't offer one. Like I have my courses and they teach you everything you need to know to learn and help others with astrology and human design, but I'm not going to say that you're certified in it because you are the only person that can like be secure and confident in just sharing yourself. No one can wave a magic wand with a certification. Like, anyways, that's my tangent. I hate that bullshit. And then people charge out the ass because it's like, we're certifying you. Well, nobody cares. Like, your clients aren't going to ask for that. Literally nobody cares if you're certified or not. It's just a, like, ego thing that then people get to, like, it's very, like, cross of planning. If you're familiar, Tricklight, with, like, the way we're moving away from cross of planning, it's very, like, I hate it. It's old school. It's, like, it's dead and should be buried. Morgul, you have access to the internet. Who cares about just helping Australia? Yeah, I agree with not needing a certification, yeah. And I know so many people with, like, tons of certifications that literally don't even, they just, like, hop from one to the next and they don't even use them. And it's like, what was that for? The internet is fried? What do you mean? I got a reading from you like a year ago and I'm still trying to live by the night owl part. Oh, I feel you. It was like a rough transition for me to do that as well because I have the same thing in my chart. Yeah, we're moving out of cross of planning, which is why we're going to see the collapse of like colleges and like academia and the way that it's been, and that like the whole International Human Design School and all that bullshit is very cross of planning. It's very like old school. It's very outdated. It's honestly like a cult, like most colleges are. what house really can tell you about your career. I have tons of videos on that. I have a whole playlist on life purpose and career. And then if you want it all in one place, I have a class that I've taught. I think it's towards, if you go to my store in my bio, it's towards like the very bottom of the store. It's called Finding Your Life Purpose. It's like $35 and we'll walk you through where to look in your chart for life purpose and career. Okay, well, why is that relevant to what you want to do? That's not relevant at all. Just start talking about human design on the internet and like you'll get clients. It's really that freaking simple. Who cares about 5G? Nobody cares. Just talk about what you love on the internet and people will pay you. It's that simple. Like, we really overcomplicate this shit, but it's really that simple. Internet has dropped out twice. Go to Starbucks. Go somewhere where it's free. Y'all have Starbucks in Australia, right? Or the library. Have y'all heard my story of how I needed gas and food money and I needed to charge my laptop and have Wi-Fi and Starbucks was too crowded, so I found a like college campus to sit outside of and charge my laptop at one of their plugs because I was like living out of my car. And I didn't have anywhere to charge my laptop and I needed to like do a client's reading. And so Starbucks was packed, couldn't charge it there. So I had to find this like college campus and sit outside and charge my laptop. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for gas. Like, I don't know where I'm going to sleep tonight. I don't know how I'm going to get food or money for food. And this guy walking his dog comes up to me. He's in a wheelchair. And he was like, oh, do you go to school here? Blah, blah, blah. And just starts talking me up. Like, you know how sweet old men are. And I was like, no. He's like, what do you do for work? And I was like, oh, I'm an astrologer. And he was like, oh, would you give me a reading? I'll pay you cash. Like, y'all, miracles are normal and natural and supposed to occur. Just get out of your head. Is it possible for Mercury retrograde to be helpful for career? Depends on your chart. You love my reposts? Thank you. I think I've had like close to 1,000 people unfollow me because of my reposts, but I really don't care. Yes, Blue, it is that simple. You just show up, you talk about the shit that you like, and you say, I do this for clients, or here's the link to book a reading with me, or whatever. It's really that simple. Was doing that in 2022, and then the internet fried. I don't know what you mean by the internet fried. Like, Starbucks doesn't have internet? Like, libraries don't have internet? Like, Wi-Fi? I love human design and astrology, but I struggle with coming out to share online. Why? Make it fun. Pretend like nobody's watching. That's what I loved about... And I honestly feel like what skyrocketed my career was when I got on TikTok because nobody I knew was on here. And so I could literally just be whoever and do whatever and not care. Like Instagram, I still feel like even though my following and audience has like skyrocketed over there, same as it has here, I still feel like kind of like, I don't know, going live over there. I don't feel like, it doesn't feel fun to me. It feels weird still. So, find a place where that is that energy for you, where you feel like you can just post whatever. And it's gonna, taking the action is gonna heal you, like, as well. It's gonna prove to you that, oh, yeah, these people actually don't really care. And if they do care and they hate on you, like, one, they're boosting your shit with their hate. And two, they weren't your friend to begin with. Three, you can block them. But, I mean, it is engagement, so it does boost your content if people are hating on it. But you'll probably realize that most people aren't going to say shit and don't care because they have their own lives to deal with. Sorry, y'all, I'm still getting over my cold. Yes, this is the only town that has free internet, but it still drops out. Oh. You could do, like, I don't know. There's a way. There's a way. Struggle with confidence. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, we all struggle with confidence. But confidence is like a muscle. You have to work it for it to grow. No, I'm not going to migrate to Lemonade. I don't think TikTok's going to get banned. I have started to post more on YouTube and do more on my podcast. Oh, you don't have Starbucks there. The free Wi-Fi consistently drops out every place I've been to. You don't have to do live readings. You could do like recorded. Like I still even do audio readings. Like the readings that when I open them up or that are linked to my bio are audio only. That doesn't use a whole lot of internet. But yeah, I understand that streaming and like doing live streaming does because when I was in Cannes, I think when I was in Nice, the internet was fine, but when I was in Cannes, it was like so bad. I don't understand because that's like where celebrities go. So I don't understand how their internet could be so bad when like celebrities are there a lot. Like I'm just like, are they not on the internet when they're here? Because the internet there was terrible. Like I tried to live stream almost every day when I was there, and a lot of y'all were saying it was laggy. And that got really annoying. So I understand internet issues, but maybe put up flyers. You know, there's old school ways to do it too. You can put up flyers in coffee shops or libraries or whatever. Oh, you just need to show up on live, yeah. I am still in Paris. I'm going to be here through the new year now. Oh, you're burnt out, yeah. Yeah, constant interruptions is annoying. Yeah, check out the podcast. There's a lot of great... So I started the podcast when I was living out of a car, actually, back in 2021. And a lot of the episodes that I uploaded at first, like the first, I would say, like year of episodes are so good. Like there's one on... I went through all 12 zodiac signs, like for, how do I say that? Oh my God. Like I did one on, oh my God, moon signs and like what your moon sign says about you. I did one on sun signs. I did one on like what your north node says about you, like what you're meant to grow into based on your north node. There's so many good episodes on the podcast. There's a bunch on human design as well. Chiron is learning lessons. Chiron is your wounds that are there for you to heal. And then they become the gifts that you share with people. Hello from Paris. Hello from Paris. I'm also in Paris. Great for you showing how it's supposed to work here. Yeah, of course. I was literally just staying with a health business owner who puts shungai everywhere to block EMFs. Well, it doesn't block internet. It just blocks the bad whatever. But it doesn't affect it shouldn't affect the Wi-Fi because I used to have shungai with me all the time and it never affected the Wi-Fi. It sounds like you might just have a crappy reception where you are. But you can go the old school way. You can do word of mouth. It just depends on what excites you. There's more ways than just the internet. Yeah, check out the podcast. Yeah, this has been a big thing that's been coming up in all my client sessions lately is like how to, like the various ways to succeed as an entrepreneur, the various ways to scale a business and like do what you want. Like there's so many examples, like literally it's endless. It's endless what is possible. Like one of my friends, when she doesn't really like to be on the internet too much, like a bunch of her clients come from the internet, but also a lot of them come from referrals and like word of mouth. And when she has a slow week or whatever, she'll send out an email or even text. She does a lot through text, which I'm like, I could never, but like you do you, girl, if that's what, and she's a manifester. So she really doesn't have a lot of energy to be doing a whole lot of stuff. But when she has a slow week, she'll reach out to her like past clients or whatever, and she'll offer them a referral bonus, which is like, I don't know what exactly it is, but you could do like 20% off, $20 off or whatever. for people who refer you, and like their friend gets $20 off and they get $20 off or something like that, whatever. Like just to get, there's so many ways. It's literally endless. I just need to sleep. It's the only thing well, then get off TikTok and go sleep. I'm currently living on my Chiron and Saturn line, feeling super stuck. Oh, well. Move, Danger. Get out of there. Get out of there. Chiron in the 5th house could be like blocks around creativity. But that's also how you heal those blocks, is by channeling them into something creative. Oh, you're reminding yourself why you even started, yeah. Could you sell your car and leave? Like, it just sounds like where you are is like a terrible place to be. I don't... Did this just die? Wait, I think this just died. Hold on. Oh yeah, it did. How can I charge it? Me is manifesting generator. I'm also manifesting generator. Hold on. How Mercury retrograde to have... Usually my ring light lasts for like... Wait, we can't have that. Lasts forever. It just died on us. Okay. No one should have to sell their belongings. I mean, what do you mean, why not? You gotta liquid asset, and you gotta liquidate the asset to get to somewhere that's gonna be better for you than like... I don't know, that maybe that's my Scorpio 2nd house. I'm like, I'm such a purger. If I need money, I'm like, I mean, that was me before. I never am like in this, thankfully haven't been in this situation for a while. But like, if I'm like, I need money, I sell shit. Like, what can I sell? What can I get rid of? Honestly, I did that before I came to Europe, but it was just because I didn't want to store a bunch of stuff in a storage unit. I sold so much shit. And I made like $1,000 from just selling shit around my house. It was kind of crazy. But I'm also thinking of selling my car because I don't need it if I'm over here. So yeah, I mean, you can get another car. Like, there's not... You can get another car when you're making money again and you're in a better place. Like, there's not lack of anything. Love these morning lives. I'm in Australia and another fire eyeshadow. Thank you. Good morning. It's freaking 9 p.m. here. Done that with force. Girl, I feel you. I have moved 45 times since 2012 in the last 12 years. But if there's a better opportunity for you to get, like, it sounds like you're just stuck. And like, I've been there. I didn't want to leave the place that I moved into in April of 2022. And I like totally signed a lease that was out of alignment for me because I just didn't want to move again because I had moved so much in Hawaii. I literally moved 12 times because I lived out of a car. And was like, I just want to stay in this apartment even though it wasn't aligned for me. I re-signed the lease during a Mercury retrograde in Gemini, even though I like knew I shouldn't have because it didn't feel good to do so. But I was like in that fear of like, in scarcity of like, I don't want to move again. And I got fucking evicted. I almost got evicted from that place because I didn't listen. That place wasn't where I should be. And so the universe was like, oh, all right, well, you didn't listen to us, so we're gonna like actually kick you out of here because you're not meant to be here. Yeah, I mean, I've been there many times. But we do what we need to do in order to have a better life for ourselves. Because my mom would always tell me too, she like, when I would be like, I just don't want to move again, and I'm just so tired of moving, she'd be like, well, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is literally the definition of insanity. So there's that. It's just like, what heart are you willing to put up with and choose? Sabrina says, right here, super stuck, but have no idea where to go. Anywhere that feels good. Anywhere that feels better than where you currently are. I'm a generator and I struggle with going after opportunities and responding. Why? Hey, Brianna or Brianna. I guess anywhere then, yeah. Pick the place or ask for a sign and like close out your TikTok and come back. And if it's like New York City, I don't know, like ask for a sign. So many times we forget to like ask for this guidance. It's available to us at all times, in all ways. And it's just about like honoring that intuition and listening to that intuition, because that's like literally your divine magic. And this is what human design helps you to tap into for yourself, because it gives you a way to trust how you are meant to make decisions. That's like your divine energy and like your divine storyline, I guess we could say. Like, for me, literally last night, I made the decision to stay in Paris a little longer because it excited me. And I could have easily been like, well, it's Mercury retrograde and I shouldn't, blah, 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 blah. I could have gotten in my head and been like, this doesn't make sense, I shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. But at this point in my life, I've learned through so much trial and error and painful mistakes that I need to trust my gut. And so I trusted my gut to extend my trip in Paris. And like, I'm going to stick with my gut. And, you know, maybe it was a mistake and I'll learn that down the line, but whatever, I can pivot. Just like I was sharing with y'all on here yesterday, if y'all missed it, I upload all my live replays to YouTube, by the way. So every single time I go live on here, I upload the video to YouTube. But I was talking about yesterday how I took the wrong metro, and the first metro I was on, I like didn't want to be on anymore because it was too crowded. But it was like the fastest way to get to my apartment. But it was way too crowded, so I wanted to get off. And I got off and I took the wrong metro, like going in the wrong direction. And then I realized, like, after one stop, I'm like, oh shit, this is going the wrong way. I needed to go the other way. So I got off the metro and I like went to the other side where it goes the way I needed to go, right? And it's like through these mistakes that we make, we learn how to pivot and we learn how to change. And it's never too late to change what we're doing. It's never too late to like make a new decision if the one we initially made isn't serving us, or if we find out it's a mistake, if we find out it's the wrong thing, like we can just change it. Like it's really not that big a deal. Life is just like, it's like your For You page. If you don't like the video you're currently watching, you can scroll to the next video. Like you can change what's happening for you by making a different decision. And that's all anything in life comes down to. And the more that you make decisions that are like what is exciting you using your human design authority, like whatever that is for you, if it's excitement, for most of them, they all kind of come down to like what excites you. Like they have different voices, but at the end of the day, it's like what excites you and what feels good to you. And making your decisions from that place is going to align you with what's meant for you. So if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling burnt out or whatever, it's probably because you haven't been listening to your own innate intuition. And this is an opportunity to pivot how you've been making decisions and align with making decisions in a way that feels good. Does it make sense? You just wait 28 and a half days. Are you a reflector? I was kind of dating a reflector over the summer, and that was my first reflector I've met in person. Like I've had reflector clients, I've met a lot on social media, but I had never met one in person until him. And it was so interesting to see a reflector in action, and y'all really like need a lot of patience. Like me as a manifesting generator, a sacral manifesting generator, no less. I'm like, yes, I want this. I want it now. I want this. This excites me. Yes, now. But for reflectors, y'all like require so much patience because you just move through life a little bit more slowly. Quad right. Cross of risks. Oh my god, yes. You had it right the first time. I forget what I said. Brianna? Favorite 1-3 reflector. Yes, I'm also 1-3. Oh, you and your sacral authority. I like this. Love it. Since you found me, I love it. 4-6 emotional projector. Love. I saw your video, read dating apps. Yes. That's still a working theory I have. 11th house in Cancer, moon in Sag. So your moon is in, oh my god, this is a lot of mental work. Your moon's in the 6th house. I don't know, how did it resonate with you? Do you feel like frustrated on the apps? Oh my god, you just helped explain my impatience. Yeah, manifesting generators are like known for being impatient. Is that what you are, Piper? I don't know. Hey, Kay. Welcome back. Oh, Cindy, your sacral MG too. Love it. We're also, oh yeah, you just said that, Piper. You said you're a manifesting generator. We're also known for talking too fast and reading things too fast and like doing things too fast. And then we have to like go back and like correct it. Like y'all, I can't even tell you how many times someone has sent me a message and I've like speed read it and thought they said something that they did not say. And then I like responded to what I thought they said because I sped read it. And then they're like, that's not what I said. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. I read that too fast. And I totally missed half of it. No, I don't do chart rectification. Your moon's in the 4th house? Oh yeah. That's right. Sorry, it's a lot of mental energy to make someone's chart in my head if they just give me one of their house rulers. So what I did was put in my head, I make a little map. So if your 11th house is ruled by Cancer, then I like, I have a chart in my head and I like put that there. And then I'm like, oh, the opposite is the 5th house and that's Capricorn. And then sometimes I get it backwards because it's a lot of mental energy, like I said, but 4th house Sag. Yeah, probably not best. Dating apps probably aren't the best. I know I gotta slow down. No, I mean, we're meant to be fast. Like we're meant to be that way, and it's just how we are. There's no need to change it. Just learning this. Did you get a personalized interpretation of your human design chart from my website? Because that will tell you everything. Like it breaks down everything. It's really great if you're just learning. Been on apps for over a decade and met a few boyfriends through it in a relationship and not one that lasts. Okay. Yeah, I would say maybe through, I don't know if you have an extensive family or, I don't know, I'd have to see your whole chart because you also want to look at where your Venus is. And there's other videos I've done on this in my relationships playlist. But yeah, I would say probably maybe even like traveling. I don't know. Depends on the rest of your chart. Working theory is spot on. The apps aren't great. Yeah. Yeah, I have moon and Sag too. So maybe it's just not good for moon and Sag people. I don't know. I don't know. I do have to do more research. But one of my friends is a Leo stellium and they're a Libra rising. And they do really great on the apps too. And I'm like, it's so interesting because their sun is in Cancer in the 10th house. So I'm like, maybe because they come across as that Cancer in energy and it has a Leo attached to it. Like, I don't know, something about how I come across because my 11th house is ruled by Leo and my sun is in Taurus in the 8th house, like exudes, I don't know, I think that's such a Taurus thing too. Like we really just exude like sexual energy without trying and it's like kind of annoying. when like that's not what I want. Like I'm not trying to hook up with anybody. Like I'm fucking 30 years old. Like I'm not 18 anymore. Venus in the 4th house as well. Okay. Went down that route. Maybe just like, I don't know, asking your family, friends, or family, like, I'm looking for someone. Do you have anyone you can set me up with? I don't know. Even if it's like not someone you meet immediately through them, like that person maybe could have a friend. Like you go on a date, like as an example, you go on a date with someone that you're a family friend or someone who's friends with your family sets you up with, and they're like, you know what, this wasn't working out, like it wasn't a fit, and y'all realize that on the date, and then like, but I have this other person, you know what I mean? I feel like it's something like that. Family are all over, but never any good, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's rough out here. I also really that makes me want to analyze Paris Hilton's chart, because she met her now husband through like a family Thanksgiving dinner, and they like knew each other before they met that night at the dinner, but they hadn't like talked and they hadn't like seen each other in a while. Like when she tells the story, I'm like, that is literally crazy, because like they knew each other through family and they were in the same circles, but they just like re-met at Thanksgiving dinner one year. And then that's when they like both realized like, oh my God, I kind of like, I like this person. And like she realized about him that he's like the perfect person that she was trying to attract. And it was just, you know, like right timing kind of thing. So I want to look at her chart actually for that, because that is so kismet. And it's very like 4th house ties to how you're going to meet your person. What's a projector meant for? I don't understand what you mean by that question. Like in career? Hi Jaina, I just want to thank you for your explanations. Oh, thank you. Your why led me to a deep reflection. Using Placidus, I get 11th house Cancer and moon in 3rd house. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it could also just happen. Oh yeah, because you're in the UK and you don't celebrate Thanksgiving there, right? That's just an American thing, right? Oh, it said my aura type is projector. Yeah, totally. But human design is new to me. Oh, okay. Well, so your aura type is like how your energy works. And projectors are very much like guides to other people. It's kind of like hard. It's kind of hard to explain. But if you get a custom interpretation that's underneath where you get your chart, it will walk you through what it all means and what everything in your chart means. But being a projector just means that you're really sensitive to energy, and you're really like, you can see people, like you can see through people really easily as well. Yeah, American only. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Maybe if you like take a, like, does any of your family live outside of where you are? Like if you take a trip to go see somebody or something like that, you can meet them like that. Checks out, yeah. And projectors are very systems oriented. If you get a custom interpretation like of your chart, it will tell you all about this. I think it's called like your blueprint on my website. I forget what I titled it exactly, but it will tell you all about it. But projectors are very like systems oriented, and y'all are really good at creating systems that other people need. But it's like comes so natural to y'all that you don't realize like how good you are at it. But that's really like projectors' biggest thing that they're here to share with the world, and how they can provide themselves to the world is through like the systems that they create. And just like y'all's unique energy, like y'all are such like seers and guides and leaders for other people. Yeah. Hi, Amaris. Welcome to the live. I got on here to talk about how a lot of my clients lately have been asking about like business stuff and entrepreneur stuff, and how to succeed like in a business on the internet. And so I shared my story and how I built this business teaching astrology and human design. That has sustained me now for 4.5 years, which is crazy. And is how I'm able to be in Europe right now. What is your opinion on part of fortune? I think it's something to look into, for sure. It gives you more insight into money stuff. That's awesome though. Thanks, Piva. Yeah, I love what I do. Someone was on the live yesterday, and they were saying that they do face readings, and they were like, oh, I can just tell you put your heart into your work. And I was like, honestly, I really do. Like, I'm so glad this path found me because, well, it's my North Node, so I knew it was like meant for me. But also, I literally was working like dead-end customer service jobs, and I hated it so much. I was such a different person back then when I wasn't doing what I love. And like making money from my passions. It was sucking the soul out of my body. But yeah, now that I do what I love for a living, life is so much better, and I'm so grateful. My North Node's in Scorpio in the second house. Your part of fortune is in Pisces. Opposes your Jupiter Virgo. Interesting. Interesting. Well, it's gonna, depending on the degrees of it, it'll be a focus next year because we have the North Node moving into Pisces. We have the North Node moving into Pisces. Oh my god, is the moon void a course right now? Hey, Jillian. Love your content so much. All the info you share has helped me. Amazing. Align with a favorite version of yourself. Aw, I love that. Wait, I'm confused. The moon is void of course, y'all. The moon has been void of course all day. This is a long ass void of course. North Node's in... Oh, yeah, North Node, the second house, too, in Sag. Love it. To protect your energy. Did I miss something? North Node and Taurus in the 8th house. If y'all know Amanda Francis, she has that placement. She is a self-made multimillionaire. So... That's what I think of when I think of North Node, the 8th house in Taurus. Damn, that's almost a 12-hour... No, that's like a 15-hour void of course moon. That's crazy. Today is not the day to do much. I'm glad I didn't go anywhere in the city because it is not the day to do very much. Second half of my comment just saying you have to protect your energy and customers. Oh, yeah. I didn't know about energy then, so I was just a mess. I have the same placement but in Aries, but money feels hard. Could be a belief thing. A lot of us have shitty beliefs about money that aren't even ours. They were just passed on. Like, and they're real. They're really ingrained in us because when we're children and we're just fucking sponges and our parents are freaking out about money, we take that on, and that is how we handle money as an adult. But it's not even ours. And it's definitely not what we, like, can choose to create for ourselves. Like, oh my God, there's so many limiting beliefs I've worked through about money that were passed down from my family. that would be like a whole 2-hour live because there's so many of them. But yeah, my family didn't really come from much, and so that really played a role in how I saw money for the longest time. So a lot of that shit can play a role in how you're experiencing money, regardless of what your placements are. A lot of it comes down to what your belief systems are. Because that's what you're experiencing. It all stems from the belief systems. North Node in Pisces is going to be my nodal return. Amazing. That's exciting. I haven't had my nodal return as an adult yet. The first one you have at like 18, 19, but I don't classify that as an adult. My life was a shit show back then, so that's exciting. Nodal return. North Node in Taurus, 7th house. Amazing. I especially feel like anyone with North Node in Taurus is supposed to learn how to overcome fear and scarcity when it comes to money, because that's like Scorpio energy is like not having a lot, and Taurus is like the accumulation of money and wealth. Just reading what this means now. Ooh, exciting. I have a podcast episode I did too on the different North and South nodes and like what you're here to learn how to step into based on your North and South node. It's on a podcast. It's kind of an older episode, so it might be towards the bottom. North Node Taurus, 12th house. Supposed to do spiritual stuff. Yeah, I really think is like South Node in Scorpio as like being in it's like, okay, because Scorpio is fixed energy, South Node in Scorpio is like you're comfortable not having. You're comfortable in like lack, and you're comfortable in that energy of like scarcity. You know, Scorpio represents the part of the year where things are like dying and things are like, you know, leaves are falling off the trees and like it's getting darker longer, and like it represents lack. And so I really feel a lot. I know a lot of people too with North Node in North Node in Taurus and South Node in Scorpio, and it's funny how like I have the opposite, and we like reflect that to each other. And I notice a lot of my friends who have that in their chart like really struggle with that. They really struggle with stepping out of scarcity. And stepping into that like really Taurus energy of accumulating money. Oh, definitely my South Node is Scorpio, first house. That's something, yeah, for sure. You heard that episode, Dana? It was great. Yay. I'm kind of scared to go back and listen to it, y'all, because my oh my God. My voice has changed. Everything about me is different from when I recorded that episode. Yep, I have a Scorpio stellium, Cap stellium, Sag, and Taurus North Node. Oh, wow, damn. Wait, what's your rising, Tricklight? Sort out my Chiron Gemini, though, can talk underwater. Nice. The comfortable with lack, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because that's fixed energy. Fixed signs, and fixed energy gets like stuck in whatever it is. Not so comfortable with lack anymore. Yay! Cap rising. Oh, okay. Stepping out of lack. Fuck yeah. Yeah, because we get to be provided for. Like, that's why we're here on this earth, is to be provided for, like, literally. My chart is such a conundrum. Like, I have, let me bring it up. My part of fortune is on my South Node in Taurus in the 8th house. I have Sun and Mercury in Taurus in the 8th house. I have Lilith in Taurus in the 8th house. I think I have other asteroids there as well. I don't remember what they are right now. Wait. Vesta. I have Vesta there as well. And then, so like, but that's where my South Node is. So that's like what I'm growing away from. And then my Jupiter, North Node, and Pluto are in the second house in Scorpio. It's like such a conundrum. You keep asking your viewers what they're worth and like $500. What? You can't even pay rent with $500. That's insane. I would say $1 trillion. I'm worth $1 trillion. With $1 trillion, you could solve all the problems in the world. Or actually like 100 trillion. You could solve all the problems in the world with $100 trillion. So many people are lowballing, yeah. Can we talk about Scorpio in the second house with the Pluto placement? That's me. Is that also you? Because that's me. If you missed it, I have Jupiter, North Node, and Pluto. Jupiter's at 9 degrees in Scorpio in my second house. North Node and Pluto are, the North Node's at 23 degrees and my Pluto's at 27 degrees in my second house in Scorp. In Scorp. Meant to live a lavish lifestyle and I'm sick. Yeah. Well, it really all comes down to like where you're spending your time, who you're spending your time around, and your energy. That was one thing that Hawaii really helped me with, even though I was like sometimes living out of a car when I was there. My Pluto sextile Pluto transit was fucking rough that year. But I really aligned with people who, like friends, who were pretty wealthy. More wealthier than I was at the time. And that really helped me to be like, oh my God. Like, there's people doing what I want to do. Like, obviously it's possible if there's people doing what I want to do. And then moving back to a really just like cliche wealthy town in the US also has helped that. And now I'm in Paris and I stick to the nice areas. And I just put myself around those people as much as I possibly can and only consume content. That's a big thing too, is like I only consume content from people who like are on the frequency I want to be on. Like I mentioned, Amanda Francis, she is my, like, she's the money queen. She's like who I go to when I'm struggling with that kind of stuff. Oh, that's awesome. Well, it sounds like that energy that you have went to them, which isn't great. But the amount of times my sacral has been piping up this entire life. Yay! Yeah, this is a good one. Shit's just been flowing. I feel like for me, I wonder if my moon was void of course. I don't think it was. But for me, having North Node and Pluto in the second house, it's like I constantly have to like really... One Jupiter there too, and my Jupiter is retrograde. My Pluto is retrograde also. So I have to be in this like internal transformation. I also have to be really focused on like bringing magic to money. Like just in the energy of there's so many ways it could come to me. They're literally fucking endless. And the only thing that's stopping it from showing up is me and my beliefs. So I feel like it's a constant, like I need to really alchemize my own energy is how it shows up for me. And then it really benefits me when I'm in a place of transformation as well. Like when I expand, when I moved into the place that I moved into earlier this year, it was like I was living in like a 300 square foot mother-in-law suite. And I moved into like a 1,500 square foot, like 3-bedroom townhouse. And that like expanded me, right? That like blew shit up in my world with money in the best way possible. And so that's been a big lesson for me too, is like I need to be continually like expanding in ways that feel like higher frequency, higher vibration. I left and went back to staying in the car. I'd rather be, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Did you happen to choose where to live with your astrocartography? No, I didn't. I just love, again, this, it all comes back to your human design authority, like what your inner authority is. I love where I live in the United States. Like, I love that place with my whole body. Everything I have, I love it there. It excites me to no end, and that is why I chose to live there. And yeah, there's some good astrocartography that I have there. There's also some like not so great astrocartography that I have there, but I don't really care because I love it so much, and I know I can alchemize energy. Anyone can. And that's where I love to be. So that's where I live in the US, but right now I'm in Paris because I love to be here for right now. And I will go back because I want to spend the winter there, in Colorado is where I was living. Because the winters there are so much more manageable. Like, people think the winters are really bad in Colorado, but they're really not. At least we get the sun. Here in Paris, it's so cloudy all the time. And at least in Colorado, sure, it can be cold, but we get the sun. I'd rather have sun and cold than cloudy and a little warmer. Yeah, I'll be doing an astrocartography course soon. I've already done classes that live in my membership, and my membership is so stupid affordable. It's only $15 a month, and you get access to 35 plus classes I've taught on astrology and human design. One of those classes being the astrocartography class. There's so many amazing classes in there. I have classes on synastry, astrology and human design, synastry, relationship compatibility with both systems. I have so many classes in there. There's like a full list when you go to the sales page of the membership, but yeah, that's where my astrocartography stuff lives for right now. My newest class I just did was on the relocation chart, so that has kind of been really transformative for me to understand as well, because I love my relocation chart for Boulder, and that's not your astrocartography. Your relocation chart is not your astrocartography chart. And I love my relocation chart for where I live in Colorado. And my relocation chart for Paris isn't super great, so I don't think I would like live here long term. I love being here. I love to travel here and visiting here, and I think I'll continue to do so. But living here, yeah, not something I think I want to do because of my relocation chart. I really don't like my relocation chart here. But I am going to do more classes on astrocartography because I'm learning so much more with all this traveling I've been doing. Like, I was in 2 different places in Italy in September. I was in London for a little bit. I hated it. So like that taught me a lot about some deeper stuff in astrocartography. Because I didn't think I would feel like that much like I don't like it here about London. That was really shocking for me, but it makes sense based on my astrocartography. And then I've been in Paris now like 3 or 4 times, and I keep coming back here, and also makes sense. And then I was in the south of France for like 3 weeks as well. And then I might go some other places. I might travel to some other places in Italy. I really don't know yet. I don't know. I kind of miss I miss the US. Like, a part of me misses the US a lot. Paris is amazing. I love Paris. I love how easy it is to get around here. Like, the metro is so easy to use, and it goes everywhere, and there's so much to see, there's so much to do. The food is amazing. I could just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. Never go to the same restaurant twice and eat so good. Like, that's what I love about it, truly. But then I saw a TikTok, I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody said that they put like a picture of the Denver airport, which is my home airport, over Paris, and the Denver airport is bigger than Paris. And I'm like, how? Because Paris feels huge. How is the Denver airport bigger? Bye, Mall. Definitely go to astrocartography keys. Yeah, for sure. I've been learning a lot about it. I've done a lot of traveling. I mean, I'm a Sag moon, so I've done quite a bit of traveling, but I've never a trip like this where I've been so many places in such a short period. Sounds like you need to travel around and see before you put roots down. Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I have put roots down already. Like, I know I'm going to be in Boulder, but that could just be like my stubborn Taurus, and it might not come true, but I really love France. I would love to see more places in France and spend more time here maybe in the spring, but I really don't want to go anywhere else. Like, not alone, at least. I don't know. Yeah. Food is life. Alternating appetite, yeah, be like tapas, please, yeah. Yeah, I haven't really been. Man, indirect determination is such a thing. Like, it's such a thing. I also have guilt motivation. What are my other things? I love the variables. I have a variables course that I need to add more stuff to. I've been wanting to add more stuff to for like months, and I keep forgetting about it. But yeah, the variables is cool. I haven't really been. I try to stick to indirect determination, but it's so challenging. And then, yeah, my body was like on such a weird schedule when I first got here. But I definitely don't like guilt myself as much as I used to about eating at night. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm mostly meant to eat at night. Okay, like that's best for me. But I used to be really rigid about it and not eat at all during the day, and now I found like a balance. But you know, Raw used to say all the time too that like you don't even have to like conceptually or intellectually know about that kind of stuff, because your authority will lead you there. And my authority was leading me to night eating like my whole life pretty much, but I was ignoring it because of conditioning. Oh my god, no. No, I can't speak French fluently, but je peux parler un peu français. I can get by. Like, I can order at a restaurant or a cafe and like say things I need to the grocery store person. And like, I picked up my Amazon package today, and I was like, j'ai un package, and then he was like, petite ou grande, and I was like, petite, and like, so I can like say what I need to and like understand people, but no, I'm not fluent at all. Victoria says, oh, I'd love to learn about that. Amazing. Wait, which that are you speaking to? Cat moon, Gemini rising, Pisces moon. Wait, cat moon or Pisces moon? And a manifester. Oh, cool. I love manifestors. Yeah, in a sense, motivation people too need really like affluent friends. Hi, MMY. Are we all trying to survive Mercury retrograde? Well, it's only day 2. I personally feel like it's going great. But maybe I'm just really used to it at this point. Oh, Cap Sun. Okay, cool. With a Pisces moon. Ooh. It's like you're intuitive and grounded. That's like super rare. Astrocartography. Okay, cool. Yeah. I've taught a class on astrocartography that lives in my membership community. That's where all of my like intermediate advanced classes live on things, astrology and human design that I've taught. Like, let me bring up actually my community right now, and I'll just go through what all I have classes on inside, because there's so many classes. The value is insane. I'll probably like change this eventually, because it's literally so affordable for what it is. But for right now, I want y'all to have access to this stuff for only $15 a month. So I have a class on the asteroids in astrology, secondary progressions, like going deep into your progressed chart in astrology. Find your purpose, using astrology and human design, how to work with the human design transits, the astrology of human design solar plexus, like the different emotional waves of the solar plexus. There's 4, I think, different kinds of emotional waves. So if you have an emotional authority, that's a really helpful one. Or if you want to understand emotional authority people in your life, that's a really helpful class because it teaches you more about how their specific emotional wave works based on what their channel is that makes them an emotional authority. I have a class on human design relationship compatibility, the sleep chart in human design, which is really fun, also called the dream rave sometimes. I have a class on derivative astrology, which is like kind of like family astrology, like tying in your family to your astrology. I have a class on how to read an ephemeris. That's for finding astrology transits. I have a class on retrograde planets in the birth chart. I have a class on aspect patterns, like what it means if you have a yod or a kite or a grand cross, T-square, all that kind of stuff. The degrees in astrology. So there's a class on like the degrees, and then there's one on the decans. Numerology and the transits, like using numerology with your astrology. Then I have one on the astrology of tarot. That was a fun one to teach. And then my learn astrocartography class. I think that one's about like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. The unconscious astrology and human design, that comes from your human design. And then there's classes going deeper into the dream rave. There's one on synastry and astrology, like relationship astrology. I have one on, this is where we're really getting into like some deep specific stuff, like Pluto and Aquarius through gate 60, where it has been for like a couple years, your progressed lunar cycle, Saturn return chart and human design, another class on the dream rave, talk about the Pluto sextile. I do a deep dive into the profile lines. That was a fun one. I did that one from Telluride, actually. That was fun. Manifest with the moon class, and then my newest class, which is relocation astrology, and then there's some transit. There's some other transit classes as well, like the U.S. solar return chart of 2024, which I'll probably watch again soon because we're like almost halfway through the United States' solar return. So I want a refresher on what I said about this year for the U.S. This info. Yeah, that's why I teach classes like on whatever I'm passionate about. Like this has been evolving for like 3 years. So I teach classes on whatever I'm passionate about learning at the time. Like right now I'm passionate about learning the deeper stuff in astrocartography. So I'll teach a deeper astrocartography class soon, right? And then I kind of like, the information doesn't really stay with me. Like it lives in the class. And that's why I do the classes, because then y'all can like benefit from what I know without me having to like teach it over and over. Like it's in the membership. Like it's all stored there. It's like a vault into my teachings and my knowledge. Bye, Cindy. But your French is improving? Yeah, no, totally it is. Oui, c'est vrai. Je parle un peu français maintenant. Find your life purpose. Yeah, that's a good one. I also sell it as a one-off class if you just want that class. Some of them I sell is just like you can buy just that class that are in my store in my bio, in the bio link. Yeah, there's so many classes in there. I'm not exaggerating. I've taught so much on astrology and human design because I love it. Human design is so fascinating when it crosses with astrology. Yeah, it really is. I feel like mine match up so well. Yeah, well, they're related. Like human design couldn't exist without astrology. So like your astrology chart is in your human design because human design could not exist. That's where all the information comes from, is from your birth chart. Yes, love it. Yeah, take it all in one day at a time. No, for sure. For sure. Yeah, j'adore la France. I really liked it here a lot. But also, like, you can get comfortable anywhere. It's kind of crazy. Like, I was so uncomfortable here my first, like, I would say I didn't really feel comfortable here until I went to the South. And then I, like, didn't want to leave the South, and now I don't want to leave Paris. And it's, like, so funny because when I first got here, I was like, I'm scared to speak French, and I'm scared to blah, blah, blah. And now I'm just like, I don't care, I'm comfortable here now. And I don't want to leave. It's so Taurus of me just to be comfortable anywhere, eventually. And then not want to leave my comfort zone. Hey, Katana. Katana. I still can't get over the fact we've had a void of course moon all day. That's kind of insane. Because it hasn't really felt like it. Yeah. Bye, Beba. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Bonsoir. Bonne journée. Oh, bonne journée. Oh, bonne journée. Yeah, we were talking about money at the beginning because I was sharing my story of how, because a lot of people were asking me how I've been able to like be in Europe for 2.5 months. Which one, it's actually kind of cheap over here. Like Airbnbs are super expensive, but not as expensive as the US. But I also am not paying rent back in the US, so that helps. But yeah, I was talking about how I sustain myself over here, which is through my astrology and human design business that I've built over the last 4.5 years. And I was just talking about how easy it is to make money online. Like, we all have our phones and we all have social media accounts and can just share ourselves and our knowledge and our gifts and make money from it. Like, apps are paying creators now, which is crazy. Like, TikTok pays me like $500 a month. And then if I have a video go super viral, it'll pay like $2,000, which is crazy. And then YouTube pays even more. I know people that are on YouTube literally just turning on a camera and yapping at the camera for like 10 to 40 minutes, however long, and getting like not even that many views, like 10,000 or like 22,000 views. Like, I don't know. I would think in my head that like a video wouldn't make money on YouTube unless it has like hundreds of thousands of views. But no, these people are making millions a year. They're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just by having their videos where they're yapping on YouTube for 15 minutes, like get like 15,000 views. Like, that's insane. And they don't even have like that many subscribers, right? It's like literally there's so many unlimited possibilities for how to make money online. Like, it's insane. Like, why aren't we taught this in school? Like, we should be teaching this to people because like how do you get that many views? I don't know. I haven't done it on YouTube, but no, I'm a manifesting generator. It really, for YouTube, you just have to post consistently. And you can ask ChatGPT how to, like, what hashtags to use, what to put in your description, and like for a catchy title that's gonna like, because that's really what it comes down to, is having a catchy title and then good material, obviously, when you're in the video. But like, I know this creator on here on TikTok that just started creating videos like a few months ago. And she talks about like women and men and how like men are just, oh my God, how they use women basically. And kind of like Sheer 7, but less about money and more about like intellectual stuff. And she blew up. Like, I found her account when she was like new to TikTok. And I was like, wait, is this the real person that posted this video? Because like, they don't even have that many followers. Like, I thought she was already like famous on TikTok. No, but she's gotten famous. And now she has like a YouTube and a podcast and with like hundreds of thousands of views over on YouTube because she uses her TikTok to promote her YouTube. So there are many, many, many ways to do it, but it's just about consistency. It's just about doing the thing consistently and then telling people you do the thing. And then, you know, it helps if you have an offer, like an ebook to sell or a course to sell, or you do one-on-one sessions with people, like something to take them further than just your content. But that's literally it. It's like literally so simple to make money on the internet. It's so simple. It's so simple. How to monetize YouTube when I was a musician. Oh, cool. I had no idea how to use it. Yeah. The general theme that I have seen though is like these people don't do it because it makes them money. They do it because they love it. Like me doing tarot and astrology and human design, which I don't do tarot anymore, but when I started this business, I was doing tarot, and it was just because I loved it. I never thought it could make me money, and then it did, right? So it's like that's really the secret sauce. Is like, what do you love? Like what don't you ever shut up about? Like all my friends were like, Kelsey, you never shut up about astrology. Like you're always talking about astrology. Like, can you read our charts? And I was like, well, I don't know. I've never taken a course, and I don't know. I've never, but I did it, and I was good at it. And I only learned that because people asked me to do it because I never shut up about astrology. So eventually, naturally, people were like, oh, I want you to read my chart. And then I was like, oh shit, this can make me money. And then I wanted to create more passive income, like more scalable income. So I made ebooks and courses, and yeah, and like I said, TikTok pays me, Instagram pays me as well sometimes for just putting the content I create on TikTok on Instagram. But there's so many ways to like get paid doing what you love, but it all does start with doing what you love and sharing it with the world and letting it change if it does. Like my first business failed, but it taught me the skills I needed to show up on live right now. You just gave your cards away. Nice. I may need Jen. That makes sense. Yeah, it does. I'm all over the place and I talk fast. Virgo Mercury in the 9th house. Would you say that makes me indecisive? No. Is my Virgo midheaven useful anywhere with this? Been loud. I don't know. It's connected to your Mercury, so I would look at that. I gave up tarot because I wasn't really passionate about it anymore, and I wanted to do astrology and human design more than I wanted to do tarot. I'm a Manny Gen. Like, I'm a manifesting generator. My passions are going to constantly evolve. And I think I did tarot readings for like a year. And then I've like picked them up like a few times since then. But the passion, you know, hasn't come back in the way that it first was there. It was like the thing I needed to do to get me into this world and to get me on the path of making money, sharing my passions. And then it was like not meant to be the thing, you know what I mean? But some people, it is their thing and they make lots of money from it. Like there's this one tarot reader that I'm a member of her Patreon, and I did the math, and she just from her Patreon, she makes like 20 grand a month just from her Patreon. And she is pretty well known on YouTube as well. So I'm sure she makes a lot more money on YouTube as well. It's just a matter of not giving up if you really want the thing and if you want it to be your thing, because you never know what's going to make you go viral. You never know what's going to be the thing that like that you know, it's like adding drops to a cup. Like you just keep adding drops to a cup and you never know which drop is going to be the one that like makes it spill over. That's how creating success on the internet is. Like that's how making money on the internet is. You never know what's going to be the thing that leads your success to you. Like I was telling a client this yesterday, I've had so many times where I put videos out on TikTok and I was like, nobody's going to like this. This isn't going to do well. And those videos go like super, super viral and make me like thousands of dollars in a couple days. And it's like, you never know. You can't shut any idea down because you really never know what's gonna work and what isn't. Oh, you do grid work? Cool. And that's what's making you want to do astrocartography. Clicking on this live as a 9th house Virgo Mercury made my eyes widen a little bit when you said that. Said what? Tarot dragged me in here, but then I found human design. Yeah. Yeah. I would say Mercury in Libra is more indecisive than any other Mercury placement. It really, any Libra is gonna create a decision. Well, then try all of them and see what sticks. Or, yeah, I mean, try all of them and see what sticks. I didn't know that astrology and human design was what I wanted to do when I first started. I was doing health and I was doing nutrition and workouts. I was literally helping people with like eating and workouts. That was my first business. And I didn't know that that's like not what I wanted to do. I'm also multi-passionate and I have been my whole life, but I didn't know that I didn't want to do that as a career until I did it. And then I was like, you know what, I don't really like this a whole lot. And so then I just kept pursuing my other passions. One of them was animals, and I had like a dog walking and like house sitting business for a little bit, and that brought me in some money, which is also, you know, if you're struggling with money, it's a great thing to do, to have a home and get paid for it. It's house sitting and dog sitting. But through doing that, I was like, I don't really want to do this either. I know people that do it full time. They do it. That's all they do. And they've done it for 20 years and they love it. But you don't know that until you do it. So you really just have to start doing shit and giving yourself the grace to change it if you don't like it. Because you're never going to know until you try it. I didn't know I would like Paris until I came to Paris. I literally thought I would hate Paris. And I got here and I was like, I love this place. But I literally thought I would hate it. And then same thing about London. I thought I would love London and I did not like London. So you don't know until you do the thing. And you can always shift it. But you know, information, mistakes, it's just feedback. And you get feedback by doing the thing. And then you have more information to make a new decision. Yeah, I'm a Taurus sun in the 8th house. Scorpio, Mercury, 11th house. Okay, nice, yeah. So many jobs and qualifications. I was working the Supreme Court. What? That's crazy. Oh, cool. We're both Taurus suns in the 8th house. Wait, how do you have a Virgo Mercury then? I don't think you could have a Virgo Mercury if you're a Taurus sun. I don't think that's possible unless it's a late degree sun and an early degree Mercury, maybe, but yeah, I don't think that's a thing. Oh, Virgo midheaven? I know, Trick, like you said you have a Virgo midheaven, but Katana, you said Virgo Mercury. Has to be within 48 degrees, yeah. Oh, your Mercury's in Gemini. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. That's cool. My Mercury's in Taurus, and then my Venus is in Gemini, though. I know a lot of friends with you know, again, this is where human design comes in, because no matter like what your astrology chart is, like it's not going to tell you how to make decisions, but that's what human design does. Human design tells you how you're meant to make decisions based on your energy. So like I have, you know, and it's called your inner authority in human design. I have a sacral authority. So I'm meant to make decisions based on what excites me. Like I thought I would hate Paris, but it excited me to come here. So I acted on that and I love it. When I got to London, I was like excited to go, but then I got there and I was like, I'm not excited about this anymore. That's how my decision-making process works. And so we each have a unique decision-making process. There's like 7 different ones in human design. And some people have more of like an up and down cycle where it takes them longer to feel clear about decisions. Some people are meant to act like in the moment on their intuition and be a little bit spontaneous with how they make decisions, right? And this is where human design really comes in with that valuable, practical insight into how you're meant to make decisions, versus astrology can be a little bit more general, and it's not going to tell you specifically about your energy like human design does. Brenda says human design is literally down to the core A system on how to make choices. Yes, it is. Love your explanation. Thanks. I like to say that astrology is your Google Maps and human design is like the directions that you get from your Maps app when you're lost. Like it's meant to be lived, it's meant to be followed. Like your astrology will tell you all different kinds of things about your life all over the place. Like Google Maps without directions. It's like, oh my God, I can go anywhere. That's your astrology chart. It's like we go anywhere with it. But human design gives you literal directions on how to move through your life story, the map of your life. I'm emotional authority, so I literally have to wait until I feel neutral, yeah. But I'm an MG. Oh, that's a tough one. Emotional MGs. I talk about this in my Learn Human Design course. Like I did a whole separate lesson in the Human Design course on emotional MGs because y'all are such like, I really feel like there's 3 different type of manifesting generators. And the emotional MG, y'all are like a force to be reckoned with. And oh man, the impatience like can be so rough for y'all to like wait. It can be so rough for y'all to wait out your cycle. Yeah, so hard because I'm all over the place, yeah. My sun is in the 8th house and whole sign and Placid's in the 9th house. Okay. You need directions? Yes, learn about your human design. Okay, is your authority sacral or emotional? Because that's like what is your decision-making process is your authority. And I have a free guide you can get from, I think it's like the first link in my bio, the first like thing in my link. Like you click on the link and it's like the first thing in there in my store that will tell you about your authority. And I think it will tell you what it means to be a generator as well, like what your type is. It will tell you about your type and authority. Oh, and you have the 2034? Yeah. No, literally, you have to work on how to say things. Yeah. I know a lot of friends who have the 2034 and their emotional authorities, and damn, do they get shit done when it's like time to, but they can also create a lot of chaos unnecessarily because, yeah, the impatience. Hey, Jojo. So cool to see this is what you're doing now. So you're always so smart. Thanks. Wait, what do you mean what I'm doing now? Do you know me from another time in my life? I feel bad for the emotional authority people I know being forced into decisions by their sacral friends. Ugh, yeah. I always ask them what feels good because I knew... You know me from high school? What? No. What? That literally is a lifetime ago. I'm literally in Paris right now. I can't even think of high school. What? Oh my God, that's crazy. That's super cool. What was I saying about emotional? Oh, yeah. So I met this emotional manifestor once who was like, if I have to make like a snap decision, like, oh, you know, where do you want to go for lunch today? I like follow what feels good. That's like an emotional kind of hack. If there is a decision that's like, okay, well, this is kind of like an in the moment thing, you have to go on like, does it feel good? Does your body want to do it? Or is it like it doesn't feel good? And that's why I was saying earlier, like they all kind of come down to like what feels good, like no matter what they are. What the different voices are, it all kind of comes down to like what feels good in your body and like what do you want to do really. Reunion, yeah. I did not go to my high school reunion. I was like, fuck that. What was I doing? I had just moved back to Colorado from Hawaii, I think. Yeah, because that was 2022. Yeah, I moved back to Colorado from Hawaii. Hawaii. Oh, you have the 2034 and the 10? Damn. I just pulled up someone's chart that had, I think it was a client from yesterday, had that as well. I only have the 2034. Me neither, good reason to miss it, yeah. It didn't look great. I think I saw pictures of it and I was like, I'm glad I wasn't there. It looked so lame. Anyways, it caused chaos at my... Y'all have a 5-year reunion in Australia? Oh my god, I can't. Nothing to miss. No, yeah, literally. Nothing to talk about either. Like, that was a different me. I don't know who that person was in high school. Classic skort moves, yeah. It is so silly. I can't be bothered. I'm in France. Can you have the 3029? No, the 3029 isn't a channel. I think the 30 connects to the 41. You can have those gates. That sounds like it's coming from your incarnation cross. I wouldn't even touch my hometown with a 10-foot pole. No, literally. I went back and like... When was that? I don't know. I left my hometown and like right after graduation because I just couldn't. And I lived in Charleston, South Carolina for 2 years. And then I moved straight to Colorado. And then maybe it was like 2019 that I was back in my hometown. And I was like, this place doesn't look the same. And oh, la 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 la. You just downloaded my free guide? Yay! Yeah, no, my parents still live in North Carolina where I went to high school. I was born in West Virginia, fun fact, and then like grew up half there and half North Carolina, and my parents still live in North Carolina, and I refuse to like go there. I refuse. I'm like, no, like they were traveling through Italy and I visited them. Like we traveled together through Italy for 10 days when I first got here. And then we came back to Paris together. Like, I'll meet them anywhere else is what I'm getting at. I'll meet them anywhere else, but but where I went to high school. So yeah, Michelle, the 2034 is a channel. So what makes a channel? And I talk about this in my human design ebook. My ebook in my store, in my bio. I think it's called Learn Astrology and Human Design is what I titled it. And it walks you through like the definitions of human design and all the gates and the channels. And a gate it's kind of hard to explain without a visual. That's why my ebook is great because it has visuals and like it points, like it literally walks you through what everything is in the chart visually and like what it means. Gates are like half of channels. So channels connect to centers. And a gate is just like one of those things that's in a channel. So like one number, like 2024 is a gate. But what gates make up a channel is going to depend on like the chart. Because only certain gates make certain channels. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how else to, I think that describes it well. I think what was the 24 gate? Oh, it's the 61. So that makes like a channel. Like the 24 gate connects to the 61 gate, and that makes a full channel, the 6124 channel. Yeah, you're welcome. I've been obsessed with astrology and haven't really gotten to human design. Amazing. Well, having a background of astrology will help because, human design like uses astrology as a base. Even though it is kind of like a different language than astrology. They're both like languages to learn, and that's why I made my ebook, because it gives y'all a guide to the language to understand what everything means, to understand the language. But once you do it, it all kind of just like fits into place. But it takes time to learn like any language. Not as much as a full-on language. Like, let me tell y'all, like learning French, so much harder than learning human design. So much harder. Je peux parler le français, mais c'est très difficile pour moi. Très difficile. Très, très difficile. The accent alone, yeah. And then I met up with this friend I made who's American also, and she's lived over here for a while. And I was telling her I met this French guy and we've really been hitting it off. And she was like, "Oh girl, it's your accent. Like they just love our accent." And I was like, "What do you mean they love our accent? Like I'm speaking French." And she was like, "No, girl, even when you speak French, you have an American accent." And I was like, "What do you mean? My French isn't perfect? I don't sound French when I speak French?" And she was like, "No, girl, like record yourself and listen to it." And I did, and I was like, "Oh, fuck." I definitely still sound American even when I speak French. And I worked so hard to perfect the pronunciation of things. And the French men like say it's good and like people say that it's good, but it still sounds like I have an American accent and it's hilarious. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I just realized that. Oh my God, I love that you made friends. Yeah, it's been like crazy easy for me to meet friends over here. I've understood the French word very. Yeah, tlé. I'm in France because I love France. I've been learning French for a year, and I wanted to see the Riviera, like the south of France. I wanted to visit, and then I wanted to just explore Paris. And when I got here, I loved it so much that I wanted to spend more time here. So I've actually extended my trip like 3 different times. I was gonna go home last week, and then I extended it till the end of December. And then last night I was like, actually, I want to stay for New Year's. So yeah, I just love it here. Les croissants, les baguettes, la nourriture, c'est très bon. Yeah, I love France. The people are great, and I really kind of came here to learn, just be more comfortable with speaking French and to learn French more. But I just love everything about it over here. I really do. Bonsoir. Bonsoir, Dana. I had a moment earlier where I said bonjour because like everyone says bonjour to you like everywhere all the time. Like if you see somebody, you better be saying bonjour to them. And I had a moment at the grocery store. It was like 6:00. So that's typically when people start to say bonsoir, and which is like good evening instead of like good day. And I was at the grocery store and the cashier, I said bonjour and he said bonsoir. And usually I'm politically correct in which one I say, but he was that time and I was like, oh shit, I did that. That was my first time saying bonjour instead of bonsoir. No, I don't want to move here. I don't want to pay taxes here. And I love America too much to live here full time, but I do want to keep traveling here for sure and keep coming back. Europe is great. Oh, you studied in Switzerland? That's cool. Switzerland is beautiful. It reminds me a lot of where I'm from back home, or where I live back home in Colorado. Je suis ravie que la France te kiffe. I don't understand that. Je ne comprends pas. J'ai compris. Yeah, I went to London and I didn't love it. Yes, I still mess up bonjour, bonsoir because I'm spaced out. Yeah. I want to go to other places in London, but I want to wait, or in England, but I want to wait until the weather is good, like probably the springtime. Because it's too humid there for me to be there and when it's cold. Yeah, London's a lot, yeah. I didn't love it. I had good experiences there. I had a good time, but I wouldn't go back. It's very depressing. Like, and it felt just like the US. I would like, the minute I got off the train, I was like, this feels like the United States, but people talk weird. I don't know what they're saying to me. Like at this point, I can understand French better than I can understand an English accent. I don't know what they're saying to me, and they drive on the wrong side of the road. So I don't know which way to look when I cross the street, and that's scary. Cornwall in the summer, I'll have to look into that. There's so many places I want to go, like north of London. I definitely want to go to Scotland. Maybe clicking the translate button because I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, London was met. Yeah, Scotland was awesome. Yeah. Oh, I'm delighted. Je suis ravie. Ravie? Oh, I love that. I did go to Italy. I was in Naples. I went to Sorrento, and I went to Turin, and I went to Milan. I really love Turin. It's it kind of is similar to Paris because that used to be the capital of Italy. It's where all the kings lived. So there's like a lot of palaces and stuff. It felt very like royal. And then I went to this Michelin star restaurant that was there. Best meal I've ever had in my entire life. So good. And then the Egyptian Museum was really, really cool there too. Wales is nice too, and they're always super friendly. Oh, that's cool. I did see the first production of The Lion King in the West End. Oh. England wasn't my jam, but I love Edinburgh. Yeah, I really want to go there. Just because I love Outlander. I'm obsessed with Outlander. I know they're in America now, and they're the new seasons, but... Oh, like, great meeting you could be ravi de te rencontrer. Okay. De te rencontrer. My mom was born in Scotland and granddad was born in Wales. Oh, that's super cool. So you have like dual citizenship, or you could get it. Bath is lovely too. Yeah, that's what I've heard. They have the Roman baths and it's like London but nicer. Okay, cool. Why is there a midlife crisis? Like, why does it exist in the world? Because of the Uranus opposition transit. Uranus opposition is a midlife crisis. I'm pretty sure I have a whole playlist on life-changing transits, and I talk about the Uranus opposition in a video in that playlist. I know how to flirt in French, so I use words like that. Okay. I love it. I just found this new bakery near me because I'm in like a new enclissement right now. And now that I'm not super sick anymore, I'm like, okay, I need to find a good croissant. So I went down to this bakery that's like right down the corner. And I walk in and it's two guys. And like, bonjour, bonjour. And then I'm like, je vais prendre deux croissants, s'il vous plaît. And then I get my croissants. And then the dude, like, I was like, yes, c'est ça, like, ça tout. And then I pay whenever he gives me my change. And then he winks at me. And I'm like, oh. Like, that's one of my favorite things about the French. The French men specifically. They wink so much at you. Like, I honestly love it. The new bakery tea, yeah. I'm like, I don't know why you're winking at me. I don't understand it, but I do like it. It's my Libra rising. You gotta move back to the center because the men where I live is a no. Oh my god. Yeah, no. I'm like near the 11th. But even like my limited experience of Paris, this feels so far from like actual Paris to me, to be on like the 11th, near the 11th and 20th. Like that, it feels so far. Like to get to the 8th is like 30 minutes on the metro, and I'm like, that's so far. It feels so far. He was like, okay, I don't know. He was kind of older. There was this really cute guy at this restaurant in Pigalle that he was like helping me with my French. And that was when I was like not very confident in it because I had just gotten here. And I love that restaurant. I want to go back there because that restaurant is so good. It's called Les Fistons. And technically I think it's in Montmartre. But he was like so flirty and like winked at me, and like I was like, oh my god, I love this. That was like my first experience of it. He was cute. Like I would go back and talk to him again. I lived in the 20th, no bueno for me, yeah. It's different. It's very, very different. It's definitely not touristy at all. But where I am is a good area. I'm really close to a metro, and a grocery store. You've heard of Les Fistons? It was so good. The menu is really simple, but everything I've gotten there is so good. I went there 3 times when I was staying in Pigalle because I loved it so much. Oh, you're not foreign enough anymore. Is that why they're flirting with me? Because they hear my accent? God damn it. I'd be okay with overseas men winking at me, not Aussie men. That's funny. Yeah, it's probably like the exoticness that comes with just being in a foreign place. Like everything just feels more exotic than when you're at home. Your sister could get it, but they changed the rules. That sucks. Need to up my American accent because they know they can get away with charming you. Oh, because I'm foreign. That's what my friend was telling me the other day. She's like, girl, they love the accent. And I was like, what accent? I feel like I sound normal. Like, I feel like British people have an accent. I don't have an accent. She's like, no, yes, you do. Like, and then I spoke French. Like, I voice recorded myself speaking French. And I was like, oh. Fuck. Like, I don't sound French. Versus when the French guy that I met, like, voice messages me and he speaks English, I'm like, oh, that French accent. So it's like the same thing. It's so funny. Yeah, I might call on you eventually because I don't know if you were here when I said this. I extended my trip again. I'm such a Sag moon. I'm literally such a Sag moon. I'm gonna be here for New Year's and I'm so excited. Yes. I have a friend here that is half American and she has only lived, she moved back to Paris in 2020. So she's like half French, half American. And she like grew up here, but then they moved to America. And then she just moved back like 4 years ago. And she said when she first got here, her American accent was like much stronger than it is now. And she's lost it. Like now that she's been here for 4 years, she doesn't have an American accent anymore and she can't fool people anymore. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. I can't apply for a visa while I'm here. I have to do it from the US. And then I don't know if I want to do a visa. I think I just want to play the 90-90 game. Because there's not a visa office near me in the US. I would have to drive or fly. I'd have to drive 20 hours or fly 3 hours, which is like, I don't think I want to do that. I have a slight accent unless I'm apartment hunting. I managed to hide it. Oh, that's smart. Do they charge more if you're like American? That's so cool though. I mean, you've been here since 2011, right? So it's like, it's just morphed over time. I definitely do feel like my pronunciation of things has gotten so much better just being around French people and like speaking French with people. Oh, they're less likely to rent if you seem foreign. Oh, well. Yeah. That's been a whole fun adventure, like finding places to stay that aren't astronomical. Oh, and France has changed a lot. Wow, yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel that where I'm in the US has changed a lot as well since I lived there. It may be less likely, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Although I have met so many people that love America. Like this one guy I met the other night is like, he was like obsessed with America. He was like, you guys have all the best stuff, like Apple and Adidas, and like you have all the best stuff. And I'm just like, oh wow, okay. I can get dual citizenship if I get a visa. But I have to have a visa for 4 years. No, what is the rule? It's like I have to have lived here for 5 years or something. And I've had to have paid taxes for 4 years. And then I can apply for citizenship. Yeah, after 5 years on the same visa. Yeah, but then I have to have had paid taxes here for 4 years. And then I can get citizenship, which I don't want to pay taxes here, so. That's my only hang up. A visa where you work? What do you mean? A visa where I work? Yeah, I don't really want to pay taxes here. Because as a business owner in the US, I get a lot of breaks, tax breaks and things. But they don't have that here. Oh, where I'm allowed to work, yeah. Yeah, they do an entrepreneurship visa. And like I think it's something in French, but it's like the entrepreneur self-employed visa. Which I was looking into, but I don't know. Yeah, not a student or tourist visa, right? Tourist visa, yeah. I don't think I want to move here though. We'll see. We'll see when I get back to the US and how I feel. For now, I just love visiting and like having it be my second home. But I don't want to like be a resident because I don't want to pay taxes here. Taxes are crazy for what I make. Like 45%. Oh, you moved on a tourist visa first year, so it didn't count. Oh, wow, yeah. I've heard so many things too. Like this girl I met just got approved for a talent visa. And she said that one's really hard to get. And then my other friend was saying she's lived here for 8 years, and she was saying that a student visa is kind of hard to get, and that to get the long-term travel visa. But then I was looking at that, and I don't think I'm allowed to work on a long-term tourist visa. So many rules. Yeah. I just don't want to deal with the bureaucracy. That's why I'm like, I really think I just want to do the 90-90 and like risk it, maybe extending a little bit over 90 days and like risk it and then go back and then come back and then. What is PACSD? Made it easier. Play it by ear, yeah. And there's direct flights here from Denver, which is, it's like basically easy to get back if I wanted to. Oh, domestic partnership. That's another thing. This girl I met, she was saying her roommate is like probably gonna get married. And that's like her, like she's just staying past the 90 days and she's probably just gonna get married, and that's like what she's gonna do. And I was like, okay, I don't think I want to do that. But there are options. There are options for me living in France if I want to. There's options. But I don't know. I was saying earlier on the live, like I don't like my relocation chart for here. It makes me a Sag rising. And then it puts my focus on, well, I would have some focus on work, but it would be less. And wait, let me pull up my relocation chart for Paris. I talked about it in my relocation chart class I just did. But I forgot what I said. Never married, not necessary. Oh, okay. Domestic partnership. Huh. Oh, moon is on your IC, Saturn first. Well, yeah. No, for me, it makes me a Sag rising. It puts Saturn in my 4th house. It puts like my North Node in the 12th house. Oh, and it changes my part of fortune. That's right, because your part of fortune is a calculation. It puts, I don't know, it puts my Chiron in the 10th house. That's the one thing that I'm just like, I don't love that about it. I know your Chiron in the 7th, yeah. I don't think Chiron in the 7th is such a bad thing. Like, I know a ton of friends that have it, and yeah. Where do you suggest starting if I'd like to start working on childhood trauma? That's something you probably have to go to school for. Is that what you mean? That's probably something that you have to enter into, like, work with some type of organization for or something like that, unless you have the capital to start your own nonprofit or something. I prefer the whole sign house system. Oh, based on your chart? You don't have to look at your chart for that. If it's something you want to do, then that's all you need. But yeah, we could look at your chart for that in a reading if you want to learn more about what your chart says about that kind of stuff. But if you want to do it, that's all the confirmation you should need to pursue it. Just need to be careful with partnership choices, maybe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what I've seen with my friends that have Chiron in the 7th house is they'll stay in relationships like way too long when they know it's not good for them. And they had a lot of like scarcity around that to work through. Of like, well, if I leave this person, then I can't find someone better, blah, blah, blah. And that's just like complete bullshit. So that's what I saw with Chiron in the 7th house a lot of times. Yeah, it's easy to make money. You just have to believe that it is. Gotta stay positive, yeah. Yeah, and just have to have that like mindset that it's, there's someone better out there if you meet someone that doesn't have all the criteria that you want. File for bankruptcy and start over. That's what all the rich people do. But yeah, it is easy to make money. It just has to be something that you see as easy, and then it'll be that way for you. I mean, not to have a reductionist mindset, but it really is that simple. If you want to see it that way, you want it to be easy for yourself, then you start believing it. And that's how it is. Debt is just a choice to pay something off over time. It's not a big deal. My stellium is in my 10th house here, plus Mercury conjunct MC. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Love the money combos here. A mindset I've had to work on. Yeah. I mean, it's such a collective thing. Like we're so conditioned by money. There's so much of that Great Depression thinking still left over in our society, even though the Great Depression was over. Well, I guess it was like 100 years ago now, coming up on 100 years ago. But it's wild. It's like like I was just saying earlier, like I have a bunch of recent videos I've posted about this too. Like there are people just posting their thoughts, their opinions to YouTube using their phone camera or whatever and making like hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. Like it's never been easier to make tons of money just by being yourself and putting it out into the world. Like it's literally never been easier than it is right now. And it's just about acting on the opportunity that's there, seeing the opportunity that's there for everybody. Like it's possible. It just comes down to a mindset. I have Chiron conjunct Jupiter in the 11th. Ooh, that's fun. I still catch myself with so many limiting beliefs. I'm like, yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, they're, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you're on here, Dana, when I was saying this, but like, the limiting beliefs that were passed down from our family are so strong within us. But they're not true. And they're not even our beliefs. Like, they're from our family. And that's how these beliefs live on. Like, we haven't been in the Great Depression for 100 years, but people still live like we are. People still act like we are. People still act like debt is the worst thing in the fucking world to be in. Like, when it literally doesn't even really matter that much. Like, and this is coming from someone with placements in the 8th house that's been in and out of debt my whole adult life. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's like a mindset. And it's a choosing to see something a certain way, and then that's how it will be for you. That's the relationship you will have with it. You can see TikTok as something that distracts you because you just spend hours scrolling on it, or you can use it like I'm using it to promote my business and make me money. Like TikTok sends me a check every month because I create content on this app. And so there's two sides to every coin. There's two ways to use everything that we interact with on a daily basis. There's two ways to see every single thing that exists in our reality. You can see something as something that hinders you, or you can see something as an opportunity to act on and to benefit from. Oh, thanks, Dana. I'm just doing what all these other people are doing that are making millions of dollars every single year from just hopping on a camera and sharing themselves. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now here with y'all. Like I'm on this live, and I'm just sharing my thoughts. I'm just sharing my opinions. And yeah. Hi, KG. Just curious about my son. Well, he has a whole chart. If you want to learn how to read his chart and how to like help him based on his chart, I really suggest taking my course. I have two different courses. One will like really take you deep into learning astrology, and one is just like a crash course. That's for if you're like on a budget. It's $99. It's on sale right now in my bio. It will still teach you astrology, just really simplified. And it teaches you transits as well. So that's why I made my courses, to help y'all use astrology to understand the people in your life, to help your children with it, to help your husband with it, to help yourself with it, to help your friends with it, and just understand the people around you better so you can have better relationships and you can really just like support people as they are by understanding who they are by looking at their chart. Like I met up with a friend the other day and she was like, I literally got into astrology so that I would stop wasting my time with potential partners. And I was like, no, literally same. Like it has helped me so much to see who and understand who someone is without having to spend like and waste years of my life, months of my life getting to know them. Like I can just look up their chart and see who they are and what they're about. And that's why I created my courses, to give you all the resources to do the same so you don't have to rely on someone else to do it for you. When you have the skill in your toolbox, you're unstoppable. Not everyone is as likable. What do you mean? I still catch myself. Yeah. You already read that. Yeah, you're welcome, KG. Just let children be who they are, because they already are who they are. Really, without even needing astrology to be in the picture. Like children are already who they are, and we're just here as parents to be guides to them, and supporting them in who they already are, and not trying to condition them or change them from who they are innately. Because then they'll have to spend, like so many others have done, spend their adult lives unraveling that conditioning to get back to who we really are. When I realized I was a 12th house stellium, I realized I needed to stop feeling bad about being so different. Yeah, for sure. That's what I love about it too. It like helps you understand how unique you are. Like there was someone in my membership once that like made a post about how she asked ChatGPT how many different combinations of human design charts there are in the world, like possibilities. And it said there's more possible human design charts than there are people that have ever been alive on the planet, which is crazy. Like that's an unfathomable amount. Like it's unfathomable that number. But that's how deeply unique every single person is. Oh, I inspired you to get back into human design. Yay. Yeah, I feel you. I took a long break from it too. Honestly, this year has been like taking a break from it most of the year. And then I did my variables course, the variables bundle that I put together. And what prompted me to get back into it? I don't know. That was like early summer, late spring. And then I kind of forgot about human design, like after I made that bundle and that course. And yeah, now it seems to be like resurfacing. But yeah, it's been a weird year for human design. I feel like it hasn't really been, I know it's been popular in the world, but yeah, I don't know. I go through phases with all this stuff too. It's very Manny Jen. I was using Placidus my whole life, then started whole sign 3 years ago. Oh, wow. It's a darker chart, really? I feel like my Placidus is more dark because it's like your Chiron's in the 11th house and it squares your Venus in the 8th house. And I'm just like, that sounds scary. But yeah, the minute, I don't know, that's maybe an exaggeration, but when I learned about whole sign, I was like, that's what I'm using. Like, that's what the ancients used. It's simple. It makes everything pretty. That's what I'm going to use. That's what I'm going to use. Because your 11th house sun is now in the 12th house. Oh, 5th house moon now in the 6th house. Yeah, a little bit. What? I forget your stuff. For me, I've analyzed both my charts so many times, and I've done this for other people as well. And it all tells the same story. Like how in my Plastis chart, my Chiron squares my Venus in the 8th house, and my Chiron's in the 11th house. And then my whole sign chart, my Chiron's in the 12th house, and it squares my Venus in the, because the aspects stay the same. The aspects don't change. My Chiron squares my Venus between the 12th and the 9th houses versus the 11th and the 8th. But we could still gather that same interpretation from my whole sign chart. So my whole sign chart, the 11th house is ruled by Leo, which Leo is ruled by the sun, and my sun is in the 8th house. So that still connects my 8th house to the 11th house. And then my sun is like on my Mercury in the 8th house is like, you know, kind of like intense and can be like emotional hurts and transformative things that come from like trauma stems from there and things like that. So it's like it kind of still gives like the same interpretation. It's not as obvious of an interpretation, but it still kind of says the same thing. Like it all tells the same story. It's just really different labels you're using to tell the story. It's like telling the story in English versus French. Like you're gonna say the same thing, but there's not a direct translation. You know what I mean? Hey, Queen of Clean. That's a fun name. I can't say it 3 times fast. You just found out you're a Pisces rising. Oh my God, welcome. When it comes to systems, I say all roads lead to home. Yeah, literally. Whatever works. Whatever is easiest for someone to read. Like people are like, oh, I have a late degree rising, so Plastis makes the most sense. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You don't need to justify it. Like, I don't care. We can have different opinions. Will twins have the same human design chart? Depends on how far apart they were born and what was going on when they were born. I've seen 4 minutes change someone's chart completely. So it just depends on the context. My progressed moon is in Aquarius. Yeah, when I learned about my progressed chart, it really I was shook. Because my sun is in Gemini, my Venus and Mercury are in Cancer, and my Mercury just moved into Cancer, this summer. And then my progressed moon just moved into Aquarius this summer. My progressed Mars is in Taurus, because my natal Mars is in Aries. So everything is shifted. It's kind of crazy in my progressed chart. Any advice on that? Express your creativity. You need to learn about progressions, Muse. There's a class in the membership. There's a class in the membership on progressed charts. What can you say about second house stelliums? Depends on what the planets are that are in the stellium. It depends on the sign. It depends on your chart. But a big focus of your life is accumulating resources. Yep, you're in there. Okay, yes. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of classes in there. There's a lot. So follow your intuition. I didn't start learning about progress charts until maybe a year or 2 ago. It was pretty recent because when I was newish to astrology in 2020 and 2021, which is funny I say that because it was my business. That's when I started this business, was when I was newish to astrology. And I learned about Vedic astrology. I was like, what the fuck? I have to table this. And then I still haven't gone back to it because I don't really resonate with it, and I don't think it's applicable to the Western world. But what I'm getting at is this stuff can seem really overwhelming at first. But just follow your intuition from when you're led to learn more about it, because that'll be when it's best for you to learn about it. You're welcome, Queen of Clean. Yeah, to table Vedic my brain. Yeah, literally it was like my world split into two. Like, you know when what are those called? The Mandela effect, when like there was one recently about how like Tinkerbell was in the Disney like in the beginning of the Disney movies or whatever, and like they are saying that she never was, and it's like all this kind of stuff, and you're like, wait, no, like your whole world is like, what? Like that's what happened when I first learned about Vedic astrology. I can remember it so viscerally because it was like I was like, what? Yeah. Mandela effect, yeah. My progressed moon just entered Leo. Ooh, fun! Getting ready to post art again. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's another thing I've seen do so well on social media. Like people, that was one thing that I first saw someone do before I even knew I could have a business and be successful on the internet. Like I saw somebody who was like a YouTube influencer back in 2017, 2016, 2015. Back when it was more easy to go viral on YouTube. It is harder now. It's not impossible. It's never going to be impossible. But there were a lot more people like going viral overnight back then for sure. I'll admit it. And so there was this one girl that I followed, and I saw her blow up because she did this painting and everybody wanted a print. And then she like made prints of it, and she made like hundreds of thousands of dollars because she turned her one painting into a print and then like made a website where people could buy it. And I was like, what? And I know like there's a lot of people where I live back in the US that do that as well and are incredibly successful with that. So like that's another thing. And it's gonna thrive even more once the North Node is in Pisces. The fact that I'm a Pisces rising, Cancer sun, Aries moon makes so many other things make sense. Yes. I just made friends with a Cancer sun, Aries moon. I love y'all. It's like sweet and fiery. Yes, I've seen one like that. The Prince. Yeah, maybe that'll be you. Money comes to you when you share art. Yes. I love art. Like when I moved into my place earlier this year in Boulder, which I don't have anymore because the lease ended and I left before I came to Europe. But that was like my favorite thing to do when I furnished that place. I was like, art. That was like my favorite thing to look for, to put in my home. Like I love art. Art's the best. I've sold art online before. I just have been on a break. Okay, cool. Hello, you can book a reading. I think I already answered your question. Depends on your chart. Taurus Queen, that's me. I am the bull. So sweet until you mess with me or someone dear to my soul, then it's fire, yeah. So what's on purpose? No, that's what the friend I made recently says about her. She's like, I am crazy, but she's literally like the sweetest person ever. It's so cute. Okay, well then go do a live about numerology. This isn't the place. I think they all have importance in their own ways. Taurus is no good art. Oh, yeah. It's also my Libra rising. For sure. And Capricorn rules my 4th house. So I love my home to be beautiful. And I have Saturn in Pisces, which ties into my 4th house. Yeah, the Libra rising, yeah. I just tried to go live. Internet dropped out so hard I couldn't maintain any algorithm. Damn. If Clubhouse was still around, I would tell you to go in Clubhouse. It might still be around, actually, because it was really great if you didn't have good service. Like, I would do Clubhouses there was this one time I didn't have like a home, so I was house sitting for my friend who lived in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Like, I'm talking East Colorado. If you've never been to Colorado, East Colorado is basically Kansas. So I was like in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by cornfields, doing this clubhouse because he has like an off-grid house that he built that's completely off-grid. Like, uses satellite to get reception or some shit. And I was doing, because that was the only way I could make money, was Clubhouse. And so I was doing these Clubhouses there, and that worked because Clubhouse is no video. Like, video is what takes up a lot of streaming. Like, it takes up a lot of bandwidth or whatever that's called. So Clubhouse was audio only, and it was great for shit like that when you don't have service because it doesn't take a lot of bandwidth to just be like on the phone, which is basically what Clubhouse is. Tried Clapper. I don't know what that is. If you don't believe in any, then why are you here? You don't have to be here. You can do something more productive with your time. I'm similar but different chart aspects. Oh, cool. Always have artsy people around me. No, literally. I think it's my Saturn and Pisces. What else could like create that in my chart? I don't even know. But I don't know. But I always attract musicians, artists, like, always. Maybe it's the Sag moon and the Saturn in Pisces. Or the Venus in Gemini. I guess I just figured it out. It's probably one of those. If you're sleepy, then go to sleep. Oh, well, Clubhouse. I attended a few art talks, but I'm so visual, so I left. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there was no visual at all. It was just audio. I love the app. It's what, like, I built a huge audience over there. It was, like, the first time that I had, like, a big audience. Because I just loved it. I just wanted to be on it all the time. And I did rooms. And that's where a lot of my podcast episodes came from. And, yeah, it was really fun. Oh, you were a mod for many creators? That's cool. So we're all back on Clubhouse? Oh, my God. That's so cool. Literally, y'all. Okay, I was about to say the other day, but this was like months ago. This was like before I moved out of my place and left for Europe. I've been over here for almost 3 months. So this was a little bit ago. But I was in this, like, how do I say it? Like this cafe in Boulder where I live in the US. And this girl comes up to me and she's like, "Are you Kelsey from Clubhouse?" And I was like transported to a different time. And I was like, "What?" She's like, "I recognize your voice," because it's like all just audio. And I'm like, "What?" That is the coolest thing ever, that us Clubhouse people find each other. Like 2 to 3 years after Clubhouse was a thing. It's so cool. This live stream is keeping me alive. I feel like you need to move. And that's where you'll find your friends. I don't know. Like, ask strangers at the gas station for gas. If I was in your position, I would be so ruthless. Like, I would be doing everything I could. But this is my Mars and Aries, like, in my defined heart. I have a defined heart. Most of my chart's defined, except for my solar plexus and my root. I would be, and not to project onto you that you need to do this by any means, but just like, this is what I would be doing if I was in that situation. I would be getting the fuck out of there. I would go somewhere where I could have better service. I didn't care if I had to ask somebody at the gas station for money to fill up my tank. I would until someone did. And then I would get the fuck out of there. I would go somewhere with better service where there's rich people. That's what I would do. Because that's what I did on Maui. When I lived out of a Tesla. I lived out of a Tesla. Long story. In Hawaii. That's what I did. It's like... Oh, when I didn't have service, I would find a way to drive to where I had service to get on to make money. And now I feel like I sound like Sheer 7. Oh my god. Hey, Ash. I've been doing human design for a lot of people in the housing crisis. Okay, maybe that's why you're burnt out then. Do you have a defined heart? This is my guilt motivation. I'm glad Clubhouse worked for you. I never knew anyone on here who used it. Yeah, it's my Mars and Aries. I'm super ambitious. But no, someone invited me on it. This was when Clubhouse was invitation only. they invited me on it and were like, girl, you could get investors for what you're doing. Like, I see what you're trying to do with astrology. Like, you could be really successful. Just like show up consistently on this app. And I was like, okay, bet. Say less. And so I did. And yeah. Cancer stellium here, but I have a grand trine and fire signs. Cool. You've driven so many houseless people to safety. Oh my God, that was me on Maui. The first time recognized must be trippy. What do you mean? Oh, in real life? Yeah, that wasn't the first time. But I think that was the first time from Clubhouse. I had people, because I was vegan for 7 years, and so I had that was my first business. And I had people recognize me from that out in the wild, like in Denver, which is, I lived like 30 minutes from Denver at the time. But that was weird. That first time having that happen back in 2019 or whatever, that was weird. And then the guy that I was with was so jealous and mad about it, and I was just like, chill out. Your heart's defined, you should not be giving out free shit. Yeah, that's what's leading to burnout. I've lived in 3 countries without money. It is crazy, yeah. No, I feel you. I went most of my life without money until like the last 2 years. Go to sleep. I'm not answering your questions. I already said that. When I want to move, I literally Google Earth my new place and get so obsessed. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. I know I have the top 2 Ajna ones. Oh yeah, the Ajna and the Crown. Yeah. I'm all defined. All of it. All of it. And it's mostly individual, which is very melancholic. Very, very melancholic. They talked about moving to France when I was a teenager. Oh, I have no idea where my love of France came from. It literally emerged out of nowhere last year. And all of a sudden I was like, I want to learn French. Like, I've had people in my life who were fluent in French and like lived here for a bit, and I was just like, like whatever in my head. Like, didn't care to talk about it or like learn about it. And then all of a sudden it just came out of nowhere. I was like, France. I have no idea. Melancholic is another word for it is depressive. Melancholic just sounds better. I feel like depressive has so much charge around it these days. Just did my mom's birth chart. She's a Gemini sun. Moon. Damn, that's a lot of Gemini. Oh, you visited here when you were 15? That's cool. Yeah, I think I definitely got a psychic hit. You only answer girls. No, I don't know if you're a guy or not. Your picture looks like a cat, first of all. Second of all, you say, you're asking me questions, but you say you don't believe in it. Third of all, I tell you to leave and you say you don't because you're sleepy. Why would I answer your questions? This is my life. Oh, the context for the word? They just have like seasonal depression, I guess is like another way to say that. Like individual gates and channels in human design are very like naturally melancholic. So they have like, to elaborate, they have phases of doing a lot and sharing a lot, and then they have phases where they're melancholic. They're kind of depressive and they need like downtime to not do, not share, and then they go back and create. It's kind of like, you know, how a creative is naturally. Like, you have those creative, inspirational times in your life, and then you have times where you're like not feeling so creative. That's like a way to describe melancholic. My stellium, I have Scorpio, a Scorpio and a Taurus stellium. I'm also Libra rising, obsessed with France. Aw. Well, France is a Libra. So that makes sense. France is a Libra, Pisces rising with an Aries moon. Yeah, my stellium is spicy, yeah. Yeah, my whole chart is spicy. Got Mars and Aries, Moon and Sag, Libra rising, Venus and Gemini, Sun, Mercury, South Node in Taurus, North Node, Pluto, and Jupiter in Scorpio. And then I have that Uranus-Neptune conjunction in Capricorn that all of us 90s, most of us 90s babies have. Scorpio and Taurus is so nice, yeah. Yeah. Tell you something. I'm getting kind of tired. That was something. What does it mean for a country to be a Libra? Well, everything has a birth chart. I did a video on this for France's birth chart, looking at France's birth chart. I did a video too comparing the US birth chart and France's birth chart. Everything has a birth chart. So that's what I'm speaking to. France's birth chart is a Libra. Pluto 29 degrees and Saturn conjunct your Libras. And ooh, here's something big. Late 80s, so yours is in Sag. Okay, wow, yeah. One of my exes is born 88 and has that Saturn. What is it? Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Sag. But then it's funny because they switched that year, and a friend of mine who was born like a few months before he was has it in Capricorn because it switched that year. Asteroids count for stellium? I wouldn't count an asteroid, no. If we counted asteroids, then I have like 6 placements in Taurus. Oh, technically your Neptune's in Cap. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have Neptune in the 4th house, yeah. It's fun. It's been a fun transit. There's so many times where I've been like taken advantage of in like within housing stuff. Like, oh my god. That was not fun to learn how to work with. But it's taught me how to trust my intuition. Yeah, I feel like where you have Neptune is where you can easily get like manipulated or scammed or taken advantage of. Like my friend has Neptune in the 2nd house and she has gotten scammed like when she was younger so many times. Because obviously you learn to see the signs and like to not fall for it as you get closer to your Saturn return. But like, yeah, it's so funny to see to see how that shows up for different people because it's so true. This sounds true. Are you on drugs? You sound like a mess. It's in Sag, so spiritually. Wait. Did I miss something? Oh. Yeah. Scared to rent a place without a male roommate because of it. Oh, well. I'm scared to have roommates again because of all my terrible experiences. Oh, you've been scammed spiritually. How do you mean that? Like you were in a cult or something? That's what I think of. Neptune, the 10th house? Oh, damn. But that can make you really good, like a spiritual teacher. Amanda! I sent you a message. That's exciting. I like a protector at home. Okay, yeah. A reader charge you $200. Oh my god, no, 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 no. That's like people who get scammed by these scammers on impersonators, really, on TikTok and Instagram. That sucks. I feel you. I got scammed before I left the United States as I was moving all my stuff into storage and gonna travel internationally. Did I go out dancing last night? No. I only go to the club on Thursday or Friday. Because my French clubbing friend has like a normal job, which is like, bummer. But yeah, he only gets like weekends off. No, getting scammed is the worst. Yeah, that was like a moment. But I just hope they obviously needed it. They needed that money more than I did. So it's whatever. Can make more money because money is easy to make. Money is the easiest fucking thing in the world to manifest. Easiest thing in the world. If you want to go to a country, does a synastry work? Oh, maybe. I've never looked at that. Send them one of those glitter mails. I'm going to do it to someone. I don't really have an opinion on North Node and Leo, but I do have a podcast episode where I cover all the North Node signs. And I could probably say it better. I probably say it better in that podcast than I could right now. My podcast is Astrology and Human Design. Favorite French food? Honestly, my favorite food, like my whole life, has been steak, like filet mignon, and French fries. And that's still my favorite food. My second favorite food is Caesar salad. And the French do both of those things very well. So, I love it here. Yeah, you're welcome. Go check out the podcast. I talk about the South Node as well in that podcast episode. So I cover like what it means to have your North Node in Leo, for example, and then what it means to have your South Node in Aquarius, because that would be your South Node. I might be having a Black Friday sale. Watch out for my email. Watch out for an email from me, because that's where all the peeps get the sale info. I literally only post about my sales in my emails. So if you don't get my emails, you won't know about it. You won't know about it if you don't get my emails. And I also, if y'all miss my astrology time updates that I used to do every Sunday, I do them in my email. That wasn't the right way to say that. I send them out to my email list every week. A little astrology update for the week ahead. Oh no, I can't. Okay, the comments are fucking up. Is it true the food over there makes you feel healthier? I mean, I would say compared to what? Because I eat really, really well where I live in the U.S. I shop from the farmer's market pretty much exclusively. So I pretty much already eat the way that they eat over here. And that's why I would say like compared to what? Because if you're not eating that way in the US, then yes, the food over here is going to feel healthier because that's how they eat over here. Everything's pretty much like sourced locally. It's fresher. It's not grown with like pesticides and things like that. So you do feel better eating it. But like I said, eat that way in the US. It is much cheaper. It is much, much, much cheaper. That's definitely the biggest difference I've noticed. I feel the same. But the bill from the grocery store is like $20 versus like $100. So that's the biggest thing I've noticed a difference in. Like it's just healthier food is more accessible and cheaper. Yeah, every time I go to the grocery store, I'm used to it now, which is crazy because last week I started grocery shopping because I'm going to be here a lot longer than I thought I would be. And it was only like, I got so much stuff and it was only like $30. And I was like, if I got this much in the US, it would be over 120 probably. What do you mean it was only 30 euros? Which 30 euros is like $32. So like, it's like, that's the biggest thing I've noticed. Bye. Bonsoir. Sweet dreams. Oh, interesting. I don't know how much stuff costs in the States. It's so bad. It is so, so bad. Like, I don't know how that wasn't the campaign that either candidate was running on. Like, I'm going to make groceries more affordable, because that's what they should have run on. Like, both of them. Because that is like the number one problem in the United States right now, I would say. It's bad. Like, people have posted receipts of their grocery shops from like 2019 versus like 2024, and it's astronomically more expensive. It's crazy. It's like four to five times more expensive. It's literally insane. Like, how has that happened in 4 years? I'm not exaggerating when I say it would be like the same food that I get here for 30 euros would be 120, if not 150, in the US. Like, over here, I got a 6-pack, like these big bottles of water. Okay, this is a 1.5 liters of water. I got 6 of these. Six of these. €1 and like 30 cents. Okay, a 6-pack of these in the US would be like $8 to $10. And then what else did I get that I was like just shocked at how cheap it was? I don't know, everything. Everything is so much cheaper. Nothing I get at the store is more than €3. It does suck about the groceries. It's a real bummer that that's happening. Yeah, all of our groceries are exported, yeah. Even when I shop at the farmer's market, because they charge they charge the vendors so much. Like, we have a bunch of farms where I live, like near where I live, and that's where the food comes from for the farmer's market. But even, I probably should go just straight to the farm, because even getting it from the farmer's market, it's marked up. Yeah, I'm sure prices are so different from May 2011. Because they're so much different from even 2019, like before the pandemic. You have a manifesting with the moon product. Sweet. I did a manifest with the moon class. I don't know what that means, but I have a manifest with the moon class. The farmer's cheaper, yeah. But I don't know, there are trade-offs that come with living in the US that you don't get here. Like, I do feel like the incentive to do better than what you were born into doesn't exist here. People just kind of have the jobs that they have. They make the money that they make, and that's it. People don't own a whole, like, it's very rare for people to own their shit. People rent their whole lives, which is how it's becoming in the US. But I mean, people do still buy homes in the US, and it's like, I do know people that own their homes in the US, which I don't know. I know one person over here that owns their home, but from what I've heard, that people that live here for a long time, most people don't. The places are so much smaller. Like, I do miss that. I miss that instantly. I was like, oh my God, the bathroom's so small. Holy shit. The kitchen's so small. Holy shit. So there's a trade-off that I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay the trade-off, but yeah. I do miss my car. I miss being able to just like drive anywhere and like go anywhere, but there are pros and cons, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's a whole other stress that comes with like splitting your time, for sure. Actually, this girl came up my For You page. This woman came up my For You page that splits her time between Italy and the US. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. Like, maybe I would do something like that. I don't know, though. But it definitely seems better to, like, if you want to make a lot of money, which I have a lot of big money goals, to be in the US, it's better for that. Yeah. Just because of how taxes work. Yeah, there is public transportation. It's pretty easy to get around places. But like if I wanted to like leave the city, for example, or like when I was in the south of France, if I wanted to drive to the national park, like you can't take public transportation in the national park. So I would have had to like rent a car. So in the city, like in Paris, it's easy to get around without a car. But if you live outside, no, it's much harder. And then gas is so expensive here. It's insane. Yeah, everywhere in Europe, places are smaller. Yeah, that's because there's like 700. Wait. Yeah, there's like 700 million people that live in Europe. Versus, you know, in a very small, like Europe is small. I think Europe is the same size as like a few states on the west coast of the US. And we only have like 350 million people in the US. So there's a lot more space for people to spread out than there is here. I made money way more easily in New York. Yeah, it just feels like too the US, the culture is like hustle. It's more like, you know, you can pick, what is that called? Like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like if you were born into poverty, you can become wealthy still. Like that's possible in the US. Like that's why people move there. That's why people migrate to the US, because of that that mindset, because of the unlimited possibility that the culture and the place just creates and exists there. Opportunities. But that's not really a thing here. It just kind of feels like people, you know, like I said, like people have the jobs that they have and they make the money that they make and then they're going to retire and then that's that. Whereas in the US, like we dream big and we are supported in like achieving those dreams. Yeah, more people buy art in the US. Yeah, here to sell. It's more elite. Yeah. Well, because people have bigger homes with more space to put art in the US. And then here, there's the whole transportation thing. Like, I was thinking about that too. If I moved here, how would I furnish an apartment? Like, it would be a whole thing that I would have to. It would just be a whole thing. I couldn't go get a U-Haul and hire, you know, a mover to help me. I mean, I would have to hire movers. They would be different. But, like, you know, I couldn't get my friend to help me move my couch with a U-Haul. Like, I'd have to. I don't even know what I have to do because I've never moved into an apartment here. But, like, it's just different. Yeah, I miss that mindset. I'm a lone wolf here. I don't follow the mindset. Yeah, no, for sure I feel that. Yeah, no, it's been tough because people are like, oh, what do you, like when people do ask me, which they don't ask often because that's not like a French culture thing that people ask that a lot. It's a very American question to ask someone what they do for work. But when they have their, like, it's hard for me to explain it to them because it's not really a thing here. Like, I even have a friend who has lived here for 8 years and she was like, yeah, I was like an influencer and I was doing all this stuff when I lived in the US, but that's not like a thing here. So now I have like a normal job and I'm just like, oh. Yeah, they're moving companies, but yeah. Yeah, it would just be different. Like I can't, like I said, I can't just go get a U-Haul and have a friend help me move shit. Like, no, there's no U-Haul. There's no U-Haul. I don't even know how they would deliver stuff to you. I don't even know. See, I don't know how it works, but it's more complicated, that's for sure. I'm not sure being a painter here was a wise choice, but I don't know. Well, you can... I was gonna say you could ship your stuff abroad, but that might be a lot. Or you could sell, like, you could sell stuff on Etsy, like people get there's so many ideas. See, there's endless possibilities. Cause I bought, like people buy prints from Etsy, but they're just like the digital image of the print, and then they print off. So that's how you could get it to be like international. You could just sell the digital version on Etsy, and then they could print it in whatever size they want it. Because I did that once with a painting. I bought a frame for it and I just bought like the digital image, and then because Amazon, you can have them send you prints. of digital images. So I like bought a digital image from Etsy. It was just like something super basic, like black with gold, cool painting thing. And then I had Amazon print it, and then I bought a frame for it. And yeah, that's one way people can do that. Yeah. You can also, I mean, there's a lot of people that like I found that thing on Etsy just by searching for it. So with Etsy and with Pinterest and things like that, you can make it searchable. Like people will search, like I literally just searched black and gold art, and it came up and it was titled black and gold art. So like there's ways to make it searchable as well to get people to buy it. Yeah, they're endless. There's so many ways to make money. I tried to start an Etsy store once and like sell, because that's another, you can just like make graphics on Canva and sell them on clothes or whatever, and that's like a business idea. And I tried that for a little bit, but it never really went anywhere, and I wasn't super excited about it, so it didn't work out. But I know people have been really successful with that and really successful with things like that. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Michelangelo. I'm feeling a little tired, but I'm good other than that. On Etsy, you have to stock it up. Yeah. That's why digital stuff is the best, because there's no stock. But I'm also saying that as a digital product. My business is only digital products, so. Digital is the goal. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yeah, I love what I do. I love it. I wanted it to be scalable and give me freedom, and here we are. Nous sommes ici. We are here. Okay, well, I'm gonna get off now because I just realized it's getting late. But yeah, this was so fun. I love you all so much. Thank you. Yeah, it's been built brick by brick. Brick by brick. So just lay one brick at a time. Good to see you too, Dana. All right, I love you all. Enjoy your night. Bye.